everyone, welcome to my next Let's Play. Now, this game is in early access through Itch.io. It's actually going to be on Steam, and I had seen it on Steam, and somebody actually gave me the Itch.io link to the early access, so I bought it so that we could play it. I think you guys will get a real laugh out of this. Demon Heart Studios presents Kinky Fridays. No, that's not the name of the game. I think that's just one of the parts of the developer. This is called Wet Nightmares. So before we start, I'm going to do this. We're going to look at all of this stuff. So we have choices, we have voices. I'm going to turn the music down just a smidgen. So I'm really excited to try to play this. So there is a very certain reason that you're going to see quickly. Also, you're going to love it. You're going to get a laugh out of this. Now, I might do the full version of this with Nerd Wonder, but I wanted to show you guys the early access, like I said. Once you've lived a little, you will find that whatever you send out into the world comes back to you one way or another. It may be today, it may be today, tomorrow, or years from now, but it happens, usually when you least expect it, usually in a form that's pretty different from the original. Saul Hudson. Breaking news this afternoon, a hauler filled with 2 tons of sand overturned at the main entrance of the city, causing a bottleneck that lasted over 60 hours. Dozens of travelers, both locals and tourists, were forced to turn around, most unwilling to make the long detours given the current dangerous road conditions. Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt, the driver walking away with only minor injuries. Despite the accidental nature of the incident, dozens of locals took the opportunity to protest in front of Town Hall, voicing their past concerns about the town's alarming lack of safe, well-maintained, optional routes. I mean, that's actually fair. The truck driver's name, which will not be disclosed, even voiced his own concerns over the matter. He was familiar with the route, but blamed the crash on a recent mudslide, stating that he had lost control of the vehicle while trying to avoid several large rocks. In other news, the authorities continue to investigate the disappearance of 19-year-old Wendy Cannavaro. The young woman was last seen a week ago, Friday, January 18th at 11:47 at night, coming out of the bar on the outskirts of the city with an individual who still remains unidentified. The mayor assured the victim's family that actions to work with surrounding authorities would be taken as soon as possible. The mayor's assurance left many citizens openly disgusted, as one incredulous parent stressed in an earlier interview. It was the 3rd time this year that the mayor has made such promises with no tangible results. The authorities speculate that the disappearance of the young woman may be linked to 4 other women who have recently disappeared under similar circumstances, since they all have the same profile. Buttons do nothing. There we go. Caucasian, long dark hair, and between 18 and 25 years of age. Well, it's a good thing I have purple hair and I'm a unicorn. I'm safe. Maybe we should warn the Eldritch Abomination. Nah. Let her get kidnapped. Cannavaro's disappearance is similar to 2 other reports in the surrounding cities almost a year ago to date. If you have any information about the whereabouts of these missing women, please don't hesitate to contact your local. Click. Also, I love the animation so far. What? What the hell? We're just going off with a bang tonight. Oh my god! Spooky gyration. A feeling of exposure and adrenaline jolts from my chest to the corners of my body in a fraction of a second. It's just a dancing ghost. What my eyes are seeing, my mind can't process. It's making my skin twitch. I suddenly feel like prey that's about to be consumed. Only now can I begin to wrap my head around what's happening. What? What the fuck is that? I fight confusion as I try to piece together this surreal puzzle. None of what I'm seeing makes sense. As I feel second wave of adrenaline pulsing in my veins, a moment of lucidity falls over me. Thanks to that, I become aware of something small pulsating against my hip. Just humping your leg like a dog, isn't it? Am I being raped? Under different circumstances, some dark, twisted part of my mind would enjoy this as a game, but my eyes are starting to show me the full picture of what's in front of me. A second wave of adrenaline shoots into my bloodstream. A soft, eerie glow of the moonlight shines in from the window, but its light isn't reflecting against whatever horror is latched. Finally, my rational mind reacts, the terror of what I'm seeing and experiencing coming to life. My revolver. I always sleep with it close by. It's under the pillow. I just need to move my arm and... Unfortunately, all I can manage is a few pathetic twitches of my fingers as I utter a stupid moan. Move. What the fuck is happening to me? I can't move. I can scarcely breathe. My body is totally unresponsive. I can hear my heart beat pounding in my ears as it thumps fearfully in my chest. My fingers are too paralyzed to even grab the edges of the sheets. Is that a woman? How the hell did you get in here? Damn you, get off of me! God, stop choking me! Am I going to die? Panic turns to anger, anger to despair. Why can't I move? Am I having some sort of seizure? Is this apparition a product of some fever dream? Where will I go when I die? What awaits me? If anything, why? Why can I only lie here and moan? Move. Oh God, it gets worse. Oh God, it gets worse. Move, damn you! Get up. Just fucking move! Ah! It disappeared. It's gone. Still its image is burned in my retinas. I can't stop trembling. My lungs, starving for oxygen, force my mouth open as I gasp for air. I can't stop shaking. Let me look around. There must be some sort of explanation for what happened. The distant crack of thunder illuminates the room. Only then do I realize that it's raining outside. I can almost feel someone staring at me from beyond. But at least I can move. That must have been some sort of paralytic dream. That's what you call a really weird dream, demon. I've never experienced anything like that, but... Shit. That was way too real. Though the storm outside is raging, all is calm within my room. My heart rate is still spiked, but it seems warranted under the circumstances. Little by little, the moonlight streaming in on the window helps to reassure me. Are episodes of sleep paralysis usually that intense? Yeah. Not like that, though. I wipe the cold sweat from my forehead and make a move to turn on the light, but just as my fingertip brushes against the switch, I catch myself. Relax. I'm not going to allow myself to act like a cliche in one of those stupid horror movies. I'm better than that. After all, every person in the world goes through something like this at least once in their lives. Right? I just have to calm down. My eyes fixate on different parts of the room, but my mind is wandering. Despite the recent trauma, I find myself trying to recall the event with as much clarity as possible. All is still in quiet, but my breath is still coming in ragged rasps. I'm still a little afraid, no doubt, but I close my eyes slowly. That's it. Inhale. Exhale. Like you're in a fucking yoga class. You have to calm down. It was just a dream. Just a hallucination. Shit. Shit like this happens to people all over the place. You're not special. I inhale the cold air deeply, filling my lungs with refreshing mountain air until my breath normalizes. Suddenly, the frightening feeling of someone watching me pricks my senses. Calm down. I open my eyes, almost certain that I'll see the silhouette of something at the base of the bed. There's nothing there, of course. I'm irritated with myself for giving in to such a primitive fear. Nobody's watching you. There's no one here but you. Lie down and go the fuck back to sleep. Doesn't matter how real it all felt. It was just some sort of nightmare. You're safe. Go back to sleep. Ah, fuck. The alarm never went off. What the... It's off. How did that happen? I rose from my bed with a zombie-like heaviness, like a corpse being reanimated from years of slumber. God, shittiest fucking night of my life. Ugh. I stretch slowly and somehow feel a peculiar soreness in my arms and chest. What the fuck? Was I doing push-ups in my sleep or something? Whatever I was doing, my head hurts like a motherfucker. I shuffle to the end of the room and flick on the light with all the energy and spryness of an overfed cat. Ow. Ugh. A series of disgruntled sighs exit my mouth as I flip the switch several times. The fucking power's off. The last thing in the world I feel like doing is going outside. But if I don't check the generator, I'll have a bigger problem to worry about than being tired. Let's get this over with. Well, if that thing went kaput, it'll be the end of all my stresses and me. Surely only one has malfunctioned. There's no way they all could have gone out. I clomp down the stairs, my footsteps thudding hollowly against every step. They've always sounded like that, even when I first started building the place, when I was 22. Why do my feet feel so heavy? I really must have had one hell of a night. It's a nice house, though, for real. I didn't even drink that much. Maybe all the stress is finally catching up to me. Wait, did I have sex last night? Ah, no, of course not. So why... Damn. I think I need another appointment. I took a moment to gather my thoughts as dim sunlight streamed in through the windows. If I've got time to stand here like an idiot, the least I can do is go wash my dishes from last night. Hold on now. I never even took the time to eat dinner last night. The icy tap makes me grit my teeth as I plunge my hands in and go for the sponge. If I wasn't awake before, this is sure to do the task. I grab the first dish and scrub quickly. Scrub, scrub, scrub. With each wipe and twist, I feel my energy recovering, as if each washed dish represents my stress. Really quick, I want to see backlog. There's the save button. I want to see what the save looks like. Ah, interesting. Okay. Still, nothing can eliminate the looming specter of my unfinished novel. It's causing me nothing but grief and frustration. My bed is calling me back like a sultry siren, promising to put all my woes to rest. But I've got bigger things to worry about. My damned contract and that good-for-nothing generator. Still, for how tired I am, I feel like I could collapse right here in the middle of the kitchen. Damn it. Today marks the 3-week writer's block. Almost a month and nothing to show. Ah, fuck. I produce the keys to the front door and prepare to head out. What these stupid agents at the publishing company don't understand is that you can't rush this process. This is the last time I'll ever work with those greedy schmucks. After I finish this book, I'll look for a publisher that actually gives a damn about my well-being. Hell, maybe I'll even start my own publishing company. You should buy our comics, guys. On second thought, that'd require me to work closely with way more people than I would ever want to. Honestly, I have enough savings to take a break for at least 2 years. Regardless, it's definitely time for a change. That's a good plan. After this book, I'll take a well-earned extended vacation. I'll write my next novel on my time, and everyone else can go to hell. I only need 6 months to write a novel anyway. Usually, without the stress hanging over me, I could probably finish an entire series. And still have time to do whatever I want on the weekends. I open the door and inhale the bracing coolness of the outside. Shit. I feel like I've been hit by a truck. What is wrong with me? I'll check out the generator and go back to sleep. Deadline or no, I can't work when I'm feeling this shitty. Dried leaves and twigs snap and crunch under the heavy weight of my thudding as I hear a peculiar bird call in the distance. Upon reaching the generator, I kneel in front of it and inspect it closely. Everything seems fine except... Remember early access. How strange. It's been switched off? I check the gas tank over to discover that it's completely empty. What the fuck? This was full 2 days ago. There's no way in heaven or hell that generator could have burned through it already. I examine the machine more closely, making sure there are no leaks. It looks as new as the day I bought it. There's nothing wrong with it. Maybe the stress is finally getting to me. I could be wrong about how much gas was in it. You know what? This isn't a big deal. It won't get cold till later, so I can come back and after a quick nap and take care of it. After a little rest, I'm sure I'll be able to... Huh? What? I slam close the maintenance door while my eyes dart about the forest. I probably look like a frightened deer caught in some hunter's sights. This feeling, it's just like last night, like someone's watching me. This spine-chilling feeling can't be mistaken for anything else. Something unseen is staring at me, something malicious. My gaze jumps from tree to tree as I look in every direction, being sure not to move a muscle as I keep my hand on the generator door. I can't understand why, but I slow my breathing, as if even the sound of air passing through my nostrils might be the end of me. And just as suddenly and as inexplicably feeling came over as the inexplicable feeling came over me, it vanished. I finally arise and make my way back to the cabin, sighing heavily as I do so, with just an inkling of what feeling left in my wake. I bolt the door behind me with extreme prejudice, then trudge back upstairs. Getting out of bed was a mistake. Why'd I even take the time to wash the dishes? As if to remind me of my failure, the door to my office stands open as I finish my ascent. Fuck me, I can't go back to sleep. I need some fucking coffee. If there's one thing that's always been there for me, as a writer or otherwise, is that bittersweet, life-giving brew. Chocolate milk? I hate to admit it, but I'm not sure it's been doing much for me lately. Sorry, I had a drink of water. Regardless, there is a comfort in ritual, so I prepare myself a cup anyway. I look out the window, glancing at the couch, as I wait for my pot to brew. As much as I want to sit, I know who will be victorious in a battle of staying awake if I give in. I pour myself a large piping cup, and then head back upstairs. The aromatic tendrils of Java incite me towards my study, as they usually do. I head inside, opting to steer into the small encouragement before I have time to change my mind. I seat myself in front of the typewriter, taking a moment to situate myself, and then... Ah yes, my old persistent nemesis. Writer's block. The age-old demon had been... Excuse me. Water makes me hiccup. Writer's block. The age-old demon had been winning my battle for productivity for too long. In fact, it's been closer to 2 months, though recently it's gotten worse. Come to think of it, it all started right around when those nightmares began to happen. I loathe this muddled, blind feeling, this hellish mindscape where pleasurable creativity is traded for forced productivity. I close my eyes and frown deeply before rising to throw open a window. Some might think I'm crazy, but... the cool forest air always helps me focus and fills me with inspiration. I seat myself once more and begin to write. Anything, everything, a stupid nonsensical stream of words and phrases. Here's a cohesive sentence. Switch the tense, switch the verbiage, from masculine to feminine, utilize every trick you have to break out of this block. Of course, I have tried this before with no results. Many say that writer's block is non-existent. Bullshit, it's existent, and I may have agreed with them at one time. But this is palpable words, seemingly insurmountable storm of shit battering down onto even my most fundamental creativity. Damn it, this has to end at some point. It's writer's block, you're never getting free of that shit. Whatever this cursed problem is, I simply need to find a bit of inspiration. Well? Shit. What time is it? God damn it. As soon as I perceive the time, my anger goes off like a firing pin hitting the primer of a bullet. I slam my fist against the desk, cursing as I knock over my cold coffee that I never even got a chance to sip at. Shit! Fucking hell! How could I have so easily drifted off? And how hard had I managed to sleep the entire day away? God, I know that feeling. I feel around my desk drawer for a flashlight. As I click it on, I remember the problem with my empty generator. A problem I had so easily shrugged off, thinking I had plenty of time to address it. I hiss out another fuck as I realize that I spilled the damn coffee all over my pajama bottoms. I hadn't even bothered to change into proper pants. Dude, you're sitting at your house writing. You don't need proper pants. I'm a unicorn. I'm not even wearing pants. I rise quickly and pace into my bedroom to change. Things can't go like this. This is becoming unbearable. And we're going to find out how unbearable it actually is next time, guys. Thank you all for joining me for the first episode of Wet Nightmares. Remember, this is an early access, so it'll be changing. And if you want to pick it up, you can get it on itch.io right now for $7 with another game that I'll be looking at soon. And you can also put it on your wish list over on Steam. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed our little bit of spookiness, and I'll see you guys all next time. Bye guys! Welcome back to Wet Nightmare. So really quickly, heads up, there is a bit of a glitch that happens with this game. If you resize it and you try to load up a game, it sometimes doesn't work. So heads up on that one. So let's continue. I rise quickly and pace into my bedroom to change. Things can't go on like this. This is becoming unbearable. I dress hurriedly and pull on my boots before I look around for my jacket. Then I head out, locking the door behind me as I always do, a deeply ingrained habit. As I make my way into the ever-darkening night, my steps quicken. When I come upon my truck, I can't help but kick the tire in frustration before climbing in. As I crank up the cold engine, my legs tremble, not from the cold, but from anger. Fuck! A whole day wasted. 2 months ago I wouldn't have even cared, but every fucking day is a setback now. I haven't eaten a damn thing all day, and I've got no power. Ooh, wait, does that mean the fridge is... Ooh. Now I'm driving into town at night like a fucking idiot. Like some goddamn city slicker who's never done this before. I took to the road, and little by little my anger began to dissipate. As much as I had chastised myself for my stupidity, I really enjoy night drives. There's no point in being mad. What's done is done. I should be productive and think of all the things I need while I'm there. I should have picked up some groceries, more coffee, more gas than I think I need. Hell, if I'm lucky, I might even find a woman to hook up with. I'm not really in the right mindset to enjoy random flings, but sometimes the opportunities fall into my lap. The shitty hand I've been dealt in life is more or less compensated by my good looks, I guess. I don't have to work hard to keep my physique, and I'm a gifted writer, though the latter hasn't been evident recently. It doesn't sound like you've had a shitty life, I'm gonna tell you that much. You also have a really nice place in the woods. Complain harder. It's like some kind of outside force, is deliberately blocking my creativity. Before I got stuck on this current piece of shit, I had so many ideas, enough to write a whole goddamn saga. Welcome to writing. Also, Alan Wake, anyone? As soon as I got a few pages into this one, though, things started to go downhill quickly. Not only does my current novel feel like a swim through mud, but all the time seems to be slipping like water in my grip. Not only that, but all those ideas I had for the other stories seem trite and manufactured. A big bump on the road jostles me out of my thoughts, and I switch on the radio to see if I can find some solace in the white noise. As it blinks dully to life, I catch a glimpse of the glowing, squarish numbers. 11:30 p.m. How in God's name did I sleep for so long? Depression? Even if I did sleep in, that was one hell of a nap. Well, there's no point in fixating on it. I tune in to the first station I can find and try to calm myself as I focus on the road. The road, in all its gentle gloominess. I begin to notice how cold it is. My fingers are actually a bit numb as something on the radio catches my attention. The disappearance of Wendy Cannavaro continues to concern law enforcement and local families as we approach the 3-week mark of her alleged abduction. While some investigators speculate that there may have been no foul play involved, the ever-growing search continues. The local sheriff, who continues to lead the search parties, is urging all women to take precautions when leaving to or from their homes, whether they fit the profile of the alleged victims or not. Further, the sheriffs encouraged everyone to remain vigilant in an earlier statement emphasizing safety and group travel. Cannavaro's parents, as well as dozens of others, are demanding more from the police in light of the recent occurrence, Their desperate pleas escalate to angry demands. The sheriff has assured everyone involved that they believe they're closing in on the location north of the city, though no more details were given. They shouldn't have even given that. Pfft, they always think they're so close. Listening to the news has brightened my mood considerably, to the point where it feels like things are looking up. Their constant strings of idiocy always made me feel better about myself. I know the word, I just can't say it. Perhaps I'm fickle. Is it so terrible, after all, to take solace in such a simple thing? Kind of, yes. Now's a good time to find some tunes, if no further other reason than to celebrate my superiority over the overblown, self-important cops. But no sooner do I find a decent station than I see the flashing lights of a few distant silhouettes up ahead. I slow down, heeding the signs as I come upon the barricade. Woof! Someone hit that sucker hard. As I roll closer, I see the outline of two cops, and one of them approaches me, a flashlight bobbing in his hand. My eyes widen for a moment as I instinctively make a move to turn off the radio, but I catch myself. I need to remain calm. These guys are probably all riled up right now. I lower the window and the cop peeks in and examines my face. Hey, bud! Road's out. Sorry, you'll have to turn it around and head back from where you came. What do you mean the road's out? It's only another 30 miles or so from here. It doesn't matter. There's no room for your vehicle to pass through at the moment. Can you at least tell me why? There was a big old landslide that happened earlier, just around the next turn. Took half the goddamn hill with it. It's a mess. Okay, fine. But if that's the case, how did you guys get here? The cop furrowed his brow, obviously irritated by the question. Do you see a squad car here, son? We parked way on the other side of the mountain. We had to hoof it over here. How long is it going to take for them to clear it out? Look, if I knew, I would tell you. They're working on clearing it out now, but don't hold your breath. You can't wait here, if that's what you're thinking. Turn around and go back. Seeing as I hadn't moved yet, the second officer approached my vehicle and noticed that who I thought was a he was actually a she. A very attractive woman from what I could see, just my type. Pale complexion, honey-colored eyes, and long black hair tied up into a messy ponytail. Pure perfection. I nearly forgot where I was. I forgot where I am as I began to undress her in my head, slowly yet deliberately, starting with the messy ponytail. I grunt in distaste as I shift into reverse and turn my truck around. Only a purr of an engine breaks the silence of the night as I head back to my cabin. I'm trying to maintain a positive outlook, but it's been one hell of a day. It's fine. This isn't a big deal, not really. There really is nothing I absolutely need from town. I've got at least 4 months of food and drink. I can tap into my emergency gas reserve. That's what it's there for, after all. I guess it's time for another rotation. Damn it, I haven't had a tap into my stabilized fuel reserve for nearly 3 years. Fuck. A fresh wave of anger washes over me, and I grip the steering wheel harder as I try to warm my numbing hands. It's probably better then that I don't have much circulation. I might try to stupidly take out my aggression by accelerating. Running myself off a cliff would be one way to end the night. The best I can do is bide my irritation in silence and head back to the cabin. Try to make the best of the night I have left. I park in the same spot I left from, lining up my tires in the deep ruts as my headlights illuminate my cabin about 100 meters off. I approach my cabin and produce my keys, cursing a bit as I unlock the door. The handle seems a bit warm, and as I push open the door, the damp humidity accosts me. What could be causing that? It can't be a water leak. I check the cabin monthly for any plumbing problems. Whatever it is, it's going to have to wait. Render! I head down to the basement, a space that was originally supposed to be a living area, but over time, I've been forced to use it as storage. Once again, guys, this is still early access. You can pick this up on Itch.io. I uncover my gasoline reserves, still upset that I even need to use them. During my last trip into town, I'd completely forgotten to buy more gas, stressed as I was from my publishing deadline. It seems like everything keeps coming back to that. I never should have signed that stupid contract. Alright, let's get this taken care of. At least the night wasn't a total waste. As I head outside to fill my generator, visions of the curvaceous lady cop fill my mind. If everything goes well, I should be able to hold up for 2 weeks before I even think about heading back to town. But I can't stop thinking about asking the cop out on a date. The night ending with my lips wrapped around those perfect tits, my face buried in her ass. As soon as I fill the generator and start it, the lights from my cabin break me out of my fantasies. I sigh heavily as I trudge back, stowing the empty can back in the basement before I head upstairs. I've already taken my night's sleep during the day, so I must force myself to try and get some work done. I enter my study, and the feeling of anti-creative dread fills me once more. Even if I can't write, I can at least make an outline to give myself something to work with. I'm still so irritated and out of sorts that I'm just now noticing the typewriter as I settle myself. There's some writing on the sheet that I left in the carriage, but did I write this? Huh? What is all this? This doesn't make any sense. I have no recollection of this whatsoever. I know I was writing gibberish earlier, but it wasn't this. There's a rational explanation. There has to be. It's quite possible that I wrote this in my sleep. That must be it. I've been so exhausted lately. It wouldn't be the first time I've written something in a stupor. I yank out the page and crumple it without a second thought. No more distractions. The slowness in which my fingers move reflect my utter disdain and lack of care for this current work. At this point, I don't give a shit how bad it turns out. I just need to write something. Some cycled garbage to give the editor so I can be done with it. God. I can't do it! I'm better than this. That goddamn publishing company wouldn't be where it is today without me, and they've told me as much. If that's really the case, though, why are they treating me this way? Why have they given me such an unreasonable deadline? Fuck. I need to stop tormenting myself. Get a grip. This is the last one you'll write for them. Then you can sell your manuscript to the highest bidder. We'll see just how well their company does without me. I won't slave away for their fucking... shit. What just happened? Did I... Something caught my eye, or perhaps it was something I felt, and I fell off my chair. The foreboding feeling enters my body once more, like someone is trying to break into my house. But there's no reason for me to be feeling this way. Shit. I scramble to my feet as the feeling intensifies. There was something there, but it's gone now? Before I can fully process what happened, I hear something that sounds like someone knocking downstairs. A visitor? In the 9 years I've been living here, I've only ever had 4 visitors, and never anyone so late. Damn it. I creep downstairs, brandishing my knife as I go, quietly drawing out the revolver that I keep in my waistband. This is too strange. Something is definitely wrong. There's always the possibility that it's a wild animal, but sort of a coincidence. Sorry. There's always a possibility that it's a wild animal, But sort of coincidence would have to occur for an animal to be able to make a knocking sound. And right at my front door, no less. I make my way ever downward, always being sure to level my gun in front of me. I stop before I reach the last step, just in case someone tries to open fire through the door. Let's see if they knock again. I steady my breath as I cock my revolver and point it squarely at the door. Who's there? Answer me! Oh. Oh, there is someone here. Please help me. Huh? Definitely something was not right. I'm so terribly sorry to bother you when it's so late, but I'm lost. Lost? Who are you? Where did you come from? Samara. My name is Samara. I came from somewhere off the road. Please. It's so dark, and I've been wandering the forest all day. Are you alone? Do you have anyone with you? I quickly make my way to the door and place my finger on the latch. If someone is trying to trick me, I'll catch them off guard. I'm alone, please. I've been walking for hours and it's so cold. If you could find it in your heart. Ah! I throw open the door without warning, point my gun at the owner of the voice, determined to shoot first if her intention is to take me off guard. My eyes take her in within a half second. She's not armed. Her eyes go wide as she shuffles back in fear, but she doesn't run. Within another second, I realize that she has no way of harming me, at least not directly. So I take a long moment to examine her more carefully. Darkness. Again, early access. Jesus fucking Christ, it's so cute. Pardon me, sir. I'm a little scared. As I said, I got lost. I've been wandering all day. I thought for sure I would be forced to pass the cold night in the darkness, but then I saw the light of your cabin and... I'm afraid I can't keep myself from shivering. My fingers are numb. Sorry, wrong voice. I can't stand the idea of spending the night in the dark, here in the middle of nowhere, where anything could happen to me, and to be honest, this is one of the worst days of my life. Her eyes begin to shimmer, halfway expecting her to burst into tears, but she composes herself. If she's acting, she's very convincing, but I still don't buy it. There's something about the look, though. Ah, yes, that's it. It's the same look of frustration that I've had on my face all day. Unlike me, however, she's scared on top of it all. I'll ask you again. Is there anyone else with you? No. What are you up to? Up to? Nothing, sir. I'm really, truly lost. I'm simply looking for a place to stay. If I become a bother, then you can kick me out in the morning, but tonight, I have nowhere else to go. I've been stumbling around in the dark for hours. Please, sir. I wonder if we can question her more. Because I am curious. How did you get yourself in this situation? I was heading to the capital. I was being driven by a guide, but the road was blocked at one point. He told me that if I got out and walked in a certain direction, I would hit the town soon. He told me it would take longer to drive all the way back around, and the path would be easy to find. But I got turned around somehow. I became disorientated. Her story strikes me as unlikely, but perhaps I'm being overly cautious. After all, there is in fact a path that cuts through the forest that's not too far from the road. It's fairly close to my cabin here, a little over half a mile, so that part isn't a lie, at least. So, why are you traveling alone? I was going to meet someone, and I wanted to be alone. Why not simply take a bus? They're cheap and reliable. Why hire a driver? My situation is difficult to explain. I've got a bad feeling about you, girl. But why? I realize this is a strange coincidence. A girl showing up at your doorstep in the small hours of the night. Believe me, if there's another alternative, I would have taken it. I do not enjoy being the cause of another suffering. I can fix you dinner, clean your place, anything you need. My dinner is canned goods and booze, and the place is clean enough. You have nothing to offer me. I got tits. Her beautiful eyes shift desperately as I watch her mentally reach for any kind of argument so she can use to advocate herself. Please, sir, I'm only asking for one night. I'll sleep on the floor. I won't make a sound or move at all. I don't even need a blanket. I'll do whatever you want, anything. Oh, fine, let her in. Let's let the killer in. Come inside, be quick about it. I slide the bolt pin and open the door, stepping aside so she can enter, but never taking my eyes away from her. Oh, God, it's just nerd wonder. As she steps in, I make sure she catches a glimpse of the knife I'm holding. You need me to cut your hair, girl? Surely there's nothing to worry about from her, but I can't be too careful. With the road closed the way it is, there may be plenty of people looking to take advantage of me in my rural location. Excuse me. I thank you very much, sir, from the bottom of my heart. So... She tilts her head in confusion as a tinge of fear lines her features. Oh God, she's adorable. I'm sorry, I don't understand. So what? You said anything. Does it have... Hold on, does that actually have audio for her? Save, load, menu. Okay, let's see. Oh! Okay, let's put the voice up and see if she actually has full voicing. Please? What do you mean, sir? You told me that you would do anything to stay here the night. Okay, so she must be getting it later. Oh, yes, sir. Whatever you need. All you have to do is ask. What's all this sir nonsense? Why the hell are you so courteous? How old do you think I am, girl? Oh, I meant no offense. This is just, I've grown accustomed to speaking this way. Because of my schooling. I really like her outfit. Especially the leggings. How old are you? 22 years old, of course. Alright, so why are you addressing me like I'm 50 or 60? I apologize. It's a habit. I see. Why don't you guess my age? Go on, have a guess. Oh, but... She shifts nervously, obviously not wanting to say anything that'll upset me. I'm sorry, I really couldn't guess with any accuracy. How about my looks? Am I the kind of guy you usually go for? Your silence tells me no. Well, to be honest, you are my type. What kind of situation is this? First I have one of the shittiest days of my life, then this beautiful girl shows up out of nowhere. Alone, helpless, willing to do anything right at my front door. Like a fucking customized care package. This has to be a coincidence. There's no motive for a grand conspiracy, not against someone like me, especially in my location. Yet, there's a way to test her true intentions. Well, in that case, I'm going to ask you something very simple. Will you have sex with me? Well, right off the damn bat there. What? Her cheeks ignite crimson as her eyes widen in shock. You heard me, well? Sex? But... That's so personal, and I... You said you'd do anything to spend the night here. I don't recall you adding any caveats. Well, no, it's simply that there's so many other things I could do. But That's different. Well, you can take that difference and turn around. The door's right there. But I'm a great cook. I'm quite versatile. Just give me a chance. The coldest part of the day is right before the sun comes up. It should be about 15 degrees. Good luck out there. But you said anything. This is anything. You must not have been as prepared as you thought to pay your shelter. A person lacks resolve always shows itself when they're asked to deliver. Get out before I pick you up and toss you out myself. Please. I won't bother you at all. I won't get in the way. It's one night. Then this would be the only night you have to have sex with me. It's only fair. Were you banking on being able to take advantage of the kind-heartedness of a stranger? How is that more innocent than what I'm asking for? You even said I was your type, unless... I see. So that was just a lie to get what you wanted. It was not a lie. I am attracted to men like you. Then why are you making this so difficult? It could be one thing if you found me hideous. But what's the problem here? That you're a complete douchebag. Yep. I hate characters written like you, actually. She goes silent for nearly half a minute, clutching her hands to her chest. She's thinking hard. I can see the true dilemma etched into her features. She's incredibly attractive. If she's had agreed to sleep with me right away, I would have become even more suspicious. But this isn't an act. She's really thinking about whether or not it would be better to freeze to death. Her eyes shift as she trembles a bit. Then she opens her mouth and quietly mutters a reply. Very well. You're going to have to speak up. I'll do it. I'm sorry, what was that? I'll do it. Do what? I'll have sex with you. Really? So you're really willing to prostitute yourself for a night out of the cold? But you were the one who asked. Please don't make this harder for me than it has to. All right, then let me touch you however I want. Let me touch you however I want and don't argue. Can you do that? Yes. Please pat her head. Repeat it. I'm going to let you touch me however you want. And this is so embarrassing. If you can't handle it, then no, just give me a moment. I'm going to let you touch me however you want, and I won't argue. And you're going to be my little bitch tonight? What? Say it or the deal is off. And I'm going to be your... and I'm going to be your little bitch tonight. What the fuck happened there? Okay. We have a deal then. We're going to have plenty of fun, and hey, with all the physical activity, you won't have to worry about being cold. Yes, sir. Her small agreement makes me doubt the situation once more. It may be in her nature to be submissive, but I've met plenty of women that would have put up more of a fight. She is acting more like a helpless victim than a girl who somehow found her way through the miles of forest. Despite my demands, she's not indignant or angry in the slightest. I brought plenty of women here in the past, but the situations were different. Hell, there were even a few times when they asked me to bring that back when they saw how far into the woods I was driving. But this girl? She has no idea who I am. I'm threatening her with a knife, and she stumbled upon me by accident? And yet she's still here? How can this possibly be a coincidence? If I was in her situation, I'd rather take my chances out in the weather. And just like that, the paranoia I've been trying to fight off creeps up once more. Listen to me. Sit down in the middle of the room and don't move, you understand? What part of not arguing didn't you understand? Oh, I'm going. I pointed at her with my knife deliberately before sheathing it, and then I headed upstairs. The fleeting memory of that face I saw in my window, then this girl showing up for a moment later. Am I being stalked? Is it possible that I'm being baited by someone or a group of people who want to rob me, or worse? I flick off my bedroom and study light and head outside. The girl is still sitting quietly in the middle of the room. And that's where we're gonna leave it, guys. Thank you all for joining me for this episode. See you guys next time, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying this. Are there visual novels or games you want to see me play? Let me know, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody. Don't forget to check out all the links in the description. Bye-bye. Hey, guys. Welcome back to Wet Nightmares. Let's continue, shall we? This is gonna be fun. We have a new girl living with us that we just found. I walk around outside the cabin, keeping an equal distance between the wooden walls and the nearest trees. If there's anyone waiting to ambush me, I may be able to get the jump on them. Or at least I can put a bullet in someone before they inevitably take a shot at me. Everything seems fine, no footprints, no other signs of life. Still, my instincts tell me to be cautious. I step up to the place directly below my study window. There is no ladder, no tree that is close enough to climb, and no footprints. Certainly no sign of a person vaulting from above and sprinting to my front door fast enough to show themselves and then knock seconds later. This logic reassures me considerably, but there is still a gnawing in the back of my mind telling me that something isn't right. I make a second sweep of the perimeter, wanting to be sure that nothing foul is afoot. I cast my flashlight to the furthest trees, wondering how far off the lights of my cabin could be seen through the thickets. There is probably no trace of anyone but her and I here. I realize upon returning that I made a stupid decision. Even if Samara, if that is indeed her real name, is alone, she could still be armed and should have shot me in the back when I left. But once again, luck had been on my side. I had let paranoia take the reins, but I need to focus. I make sure my knife and gun are close at hand before considering the girl quietly. Thank you for letting me stay here. I stare at her for several seconds as I try to wrap my mind around this uncanny situation. Can I? Yeah, I can just do that. Are you planning on robbing me? No, of course not. I seat myself slowly, folding my hands and leaning forward as I take a deep breath. Look, girl. I probably seem like a major asshole to you, but you've got to admit your story seems pretty hard to believe. I understand, but I swear to you that I'm telling the truth. Are you a prostitute? No. You can blame me for thinking that. You can't blame me for thinking that, can you? After all, it wasn't that difficult to convince you to have sex with me. I've been pretty brusque with you, yet you haven't protested or tried to defend yourself at all. Don't you think that's at least a little suspicious? Circumstances being what they are, I have no other option. Well, you're right about that. Hearing her say it so casually, I realized the truth in her statement. It's possible I was exaggerating the situation in my head. But if she's telling the truth, she simply chose the logical path. I'll say one thing. You were lucky as hell to find this place. It's the only cabin for 50 kilometers around. The next closest place is a burned down old cellar. Why are you wearing such a short skirt on such a long trip? It's the only outfit I could find at the time. I see. Like I said, I like I actually like the stockings. I still have no idea what to make of this situation. A girl, we could... A situation, girl. We could both be very lucky or very unlucky. What do you mean? Don't worry about it. Just a writer spouting writer's nonsense. You're a writer? Yes, but lately it seems it's only a title. How so? Because writer's block is a bitch. Yeah. It's not important. Forget about it. Want some coffee? This late? I wasn't exactly expecting visitors when you dropped by. It's all I've got. I forgot sometimes that normal people only drink coffee during the day. I only drink it when I need to keep my eyes open. I'm addicted to the caffeine. It's better than smoking, right? Yeah, I think so. I'm going to fix some, and I'd like you to drink a cup with me. Oh. What's wrong? You don't like coffee? I could pour you some booze if you want, but trust me, the coffee is the lesser evil. It's not that I don't like it, it's just... I'm always worried about drinks being drugged or spiked or something. Ah, I see you're just as paranoid as I am. Think about it. I would have had to have known some random girl was coming here tonight to prepare the drugs. That's the kind of thing I would need to go into town to find. Besides that, those are from men who force themselves on women. But you've already agreed to have sex with me, haven't you? Calm down, girl. I won't ask you to fuck. I pushed the matter to see how far you would go to stay here, or how easily you would agree to it. Seriously? Seriously. If you had agreed quickly, I would have assumed that your intentions were less than innocent. Let's just say I'm not exactly the trusting type. Most people in this world will do anything and everything to get the upper hand. They'll screw over anybody, no matter how good or bad they are, however much they might not deserve it. I simply learned how to be the bad kind. That's why I live in the middle of the forest. Oh. Has anyone ever tried to take advantage of you? More times than I can count, as far back as I can remember. Even here, about 6 years ago, this pair of 20-something dickheads, a couple, showed up and gave me trouble. They kept showing up here with rifles, getting closer and closer to my cabin. I don't think they were here to hunt, even though that's what they said. I tried to be cordial with them, telling them this was private property and that I wasn't comfortable with them hunting around here. The girl proceeded to fire a shot dangerously close to my feet and told me to fuck myself. I went into town to try and settle it legally, like a fucking civilized human being, but the cops told me that I didn't have any evidence. There was nothing they could do. I asked them if they could at least keep an eye on out for unlicensed hunters or people using rifles that weren't legal for hunting. They pretty much told me to go to hell. Not with their words, but their actions. I never saw a single squad car or mounted unit anywhere around here. They ghosted me. The cops in this country have always been incompetent, so I wasn't really surprised. I have a good relationship with them, though, since the chief's daughter is a fan of my books, but man, they can't get anything right. They only get off their asses when there's some sort of murder or someone goes missing, but even then, they can't do a damn thing about it. I realized I would have to take matters into my own hands. So I started waiting for the boys. I waited for them every day. 6 months passed, and I started to think that maybe I'd gotten lucky and they'd never come around again. But lo and behold, they showed up one night at my door at some ridiculous time, like 2 in the morning. They started saying some crazy shit about how his wife or girlfriend or whatever was hurt, banging on the door like 2 idiots. I didn't buy a word of it. I just stayed inside and kept my mouth shut. When they realized I wasn't going to fall for their stupid trick, they started busting the place up, even breaking my windows. I crept upstairs while they got bolder, hearing them toss my place, probably to see if there was anything worth stealing. Maybe they were drunk or high or both. What would a man like me living in the middle of nowhere have that's worth stealing? I hid in one of the rooms and waited patiently. The first to fall was the girl who shot near my feet. When they kicked in my door, I fired twice. She took one square in the chest and the other got in the leg. He left her there like a coward and ran towards the window, hobbling while she died on the spot. I followed him. He was in such a rush to get out, he dragged himself through the same window he'd broke and cut himself on a jagged piece of glass. He got about 20 meters before he fell down and bled to death. I spent the next 2 years modifying and reinforcing my cabin to make sure no one could get in or out without me knowing. The point is, I've been trying to be civilized for my whole life, but it never worked out. Hell, that's why I moved all the way out here in the first place. I hope I haven't bored you with my shitty story. No, it's okay. Enough about me. Where are you from? North? From across the border. So you're Canadian? That explains why you're so so overly kind. Although I can't imagine it's been all that kind to you if you're leaving it. Oh no, I didn't leave for any bad reasons. Oh, what was it then? If you don't mind, I prefer to keep that to myself, please. Keep the past in the past, huh? Yeah, I can understand that. The world doesn't seem to favor oversharers or people that are too kind, unless they have shitloads of money or servants that can do all the grunt work for you. Anyway, the coffee should be ready right about now. Sugar? Yes, please. Alright, here you go, hot and fresh. Hopefully it's not too bitter for you. Oh, thanks. Why don't you stand up? Come on, let me get a good look at you. I want to see what I'm up against. She stands up quickly with pursed lips, with almost military-like rigidity. Relax, girl. I'm giving you the once-over. Again, the design works really nice. I shamelessly allow myself to roam over her feminine form. Her incredible legs would look good in anything. They're perfectly shaped and exquisitely voluptuous. You're a very pretty girl. Oh, thank you. You're really not on the run. You look like you just came from a nightclub or something. The only thing that throws the outfit off are those army boots, but I guess that's the style. I guess that style is in with those kinds of outfits. I was only about 4 or 5 hours from my destination, and I wanted to look good for the person who was going to receive me. I would ask who was going to receive you, but I'm going to stop bothering you with so many questions. It seems like you'd rather not be asked about your personal life, and I completely get that. No, it's alright, really. I see. Who are you going to see then? A boyfriend? Something like that. What the hell does that mean? I arch my brow in curiosity as she fidgets nervously. I'm really asking, what do you mean? It's complicated. You see, we met online. Oh, one of the online flings. Gotcha. So it's one of those cyber hookups that are so popular these days? It's not like that. We're just friends, really. Just friends, huh? This is an awful lot of trouble you're going through just to see a friend. Well, it's just that Forget it. It's none of my business. You don't have to explain it to me. I don't mean to be cryptic, but it's so hard to explain our relationship. I really apologize. No need for that. Like I said, you don't need to explain. I have a hard time picturing how anyone could have a long-distance relationship over the screen and a wire. All the rush of getting to know someone in person is gone. It almost seems like an imitation to me. Oh well. God, I sound like such an old-fashioned fuck saying stuff like that. No matter. Anyway, there's something else I need to ask you, and you're not gonna like it. I need you to take off that sweater. Huh? Don't make a big deal out of it. I just want to make sure you're not packing any heat or steel. Oh, okay, I understand. A bit oversized for you anyway, don't you think? Well, it was a gift, so... A gift for such a chestier woman, perhaps. Your cup size doesn't warrant all of this material. Well, it looks like you're clean. Now I just need to frisk the rest of you. Frisk? Why do you seem so surprised? If you're going to sleep here, I need to make sure I'm not making a huge mistake. I promise I won't try to get fresh with any of your intimate parts, but I also need to make sure you don't have anything that can stab me in the back with. You're still a stranger here under strange circumstances. I realize that I might be acting paranoid, but I won't be able to sleep if I don't check you thoroughly. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can blame my lack of grace on all the bad experiences I've had in my life. Yes, I understand. Do what you must. Okay. Turn around and spread your arms and legs. Pat, pat, pat. She's T-posing for dominance. As my hand presses over her body, I immediately picture myself frisking a few twigs that are wrapped in cloth. The girl's frame is incredibly fragile. My vision of moving my hands over the small tree is reinforced as I pass beneath her armpits into the curves of her stomach. It's like patting down a very gaunt, sickly woman, possibly a sickly woman. I've been with small girls, petite women, but this is nothing like that. It's as if her ribs have been covered by nothing but a piece of delicate silk. She almost feels like a model of a skeleton that one might find on a human biology classroom. Many people, no doubt, would have pulled their hands away in confusion by now, shuddering at the feeling of bone against their fingers. But whatever reason, though, there's something about this I find intoxicating, comforting even. You horny fuck. I could caress her ribs for hours, but I must not forget my purpose. I slid my hands down her waist. Her waist is as slender as her torso. If I tried to close my hands around it, my fingers would touch easily. Her hip bones stick out prominently, almost playfully as I brush my hands over them as I continue. Then somehow everything changes. Found the dick. Are you hiding something in your waistband? No, sir. In complete defiance to her upper half, her legs feel firm and strong, like those of an athlete. These are the legs of a completely different person. How can this be when she's as frail in the midsection? Relax. I promised I wouldn't touch you more than necessary. Just don't make any sudden movements, understand? Yes, I understand. I've had dozens of sexual encounters in the course of my life, but this This is making me feel like it's the first time. Every touch is electric and enigmatic. I slip my palms up her thick thighs, displacing her skirt a bit. What is this here? It's a button to keep my skirt on. As my tour of her curves, or lack thereof, ends, I can't help but think about lifting her skirt. Her bottom looks so soft and firm, even through those red panties, what I wouldn't give to feel it against my crotch. Surely then, all of my recent stress would be relieved. It's taking everything in me to suppress my desire to push her legs together and squeeze. I pull my hands away before they move on their own. Her skin is so perfect, almost unreal. Her stockings cling to her legs like wrapping paper, teasing at a delight they're masking. Everyone knows presents are better when they're wrapped so lovely. Her skin is cold, remarkably so, yet it's pleasant against my warmness, calming even. It's as if her body is begging to be embraced by my warmth, expectant for my touch. No, I can't give in. I need to finish what I started. I slid my hands down her legs and catch sight of her boots. Yeah, this is reminding me of why I started to begin with. I've been screwed over too many times in my life. I can't trust anybody. I'm sorry. What's the matter? Thanks. Are you enjoying yourself? No, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? It depends. On what? What the hell are you getting at? I mean, it depends on whether you want me to enjoy it or, if you prefer to be scared or nervous. I wasn't expecting an answer like that. I like the way you think. But I really want to know, are you having a good time or not? I can say that I'm enjoying it if that's what you want. I prefer the pleasure I bring to be legitimate. But don't worry, you won't have to act if that's what you're thinking. I'm good at what I do. Now you, on the other hand, will have a much harder task. I'm not so easy to please. I whisper to her as I slip my fingers between her thighs and hips. And that, my friends, is where we're going to leave it. A little bit of teasing. So I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to be awesome. To check out my other channel, Sinfully Pure, my Twitch channel, Sinfully_Pure. We're trying to hit the partner status. And check me out in all the places linked in the description. I also have a Patreon, OnlyFans, and all that jazz. You can also check out our shop for our comic book, and I'll see you guys later. Bye, everybody. Hey guys, welcome back for more Wet Nightmares. And once again, thank you all who have been supporting. You're all very awesome. Let's check out the booty. Oh shit. I've never been with a girl who gets as wet as you. You've covered my entire face. Oh goodness, I'm so sorry if it's gross then. If I hated it, I wouldn't keep doing it. Don't worry, girl, I'm having an incredible time. Oh, I'm very, very happy to hear that. I immediately regret expressing my enjoyment. It is none of her business, or any of mine, or any of my lovers, to know that what I'm truly feeling. But what is done is done. I should remove it from my mind. Tell me, girl, why do you feel so thin? Compared to your legs especially. How are you so fit on your bottom, yet so gangly up top? What is every day at the gym leg day for you? I've never been to a gym. Are you telling me this ass is genetic? I smirk as I cup her ass once more and squeeze. Well, I suppose. What's the problem? Why so apprehensive? Well, I don't know what to say. I'm very nervous. I can still feel your wetness on my face. I think we're well past the point of nervousness. You don't have to do anything. Just let me do all the work. It's just... I'm nervous because I don't know you. If I did, I'd be able to tell you what you wanted, how you want me to act. But this situation, you make me nervous. You even scare me a little. If I wasn't sitting, my legs would have given out. Her words have me frozen in time. Somewhere in my dark heart, in the deepest recesses of my mind, I had always wanted a woman to say those words to me. Those exact words. Per fucking word. And she had spoken them sincerely, complete with this adorable, timid pause in between. Her words were like a solemn prayer, petrifying my soul and rocking me to my core. I take her by the shoulders and ease my tongue over the corner of her mouth. Then I kiss her slowly, deliberately. I've never done this before. I've always kept my lovers at a distance. I am always in control. They love it, those women. They love being tortured by my withheld desires, even if they hate to admit it, even if it makes them upset. It makes me want more. But with this girl, I am at a loss for how she's making me feel. I sit back on the couch and squeeze her thighs, using them as handles to pull her towards me. She falters and tries to catch her balance, one leg landing beside my knee. It's exactly the position I wanted her to be in. After barking at her, I zip up my pants and assume an all too familiar defensive position. And that's where we're going to leave it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was very tantalizing. Remember, this is still in early access, so, more art and stuff will be added. So, guys, I'll see you next time. Once again, if you guys aren't supporting, check me out on Patreon, Subscribestar, and OnlyFans. If you haven't checked out my YouTube, you can find me under Purity Sin Gamings, or Sinfully Pure, which is my second channel, or Sinfully Pure on Twitch, where I'm trying to hit partner. Be awesome and help me out. Show them that those that are lewd are awesome. Bye, guys. Have a wonderful day. Love you all. Mwah. So, hi, everybody. People have asked me where I got this game. So you can buy this currently in the early access phase, that I got it from Itch.io. I just happened to stumble upon it on Itch.io. And I'd already been looking at the Steam page, so I was kind of surprised to see they were doing early access on Itch.io and not on Steam. But that's fine. So you can pick it up on Itch.io. Apparently the Patreon page is down for... I guess Patreon's inspecting it to make sure it's up to their standards. So you won't be able to support them on Patreon. You're going to have to go through Itch.io. And I believe the game is in a bundle still for $7 with the creator's other game. So let's go ahead and continue. After barking at her, I zipped up my pants and assumed an all too familiar offensive position. My revolver pointed straight ahead, and my knife ready in my hand, in case the gun malfunctioned or I missed. I glanced at Samara for a quick moment to make sure she took my order to heart. Why don't you show yourself and make it easy for the both of us? My voice is more firm than angry as I bellow upstairs. Whether they show themselves or not, I'll be ready for them. I make my way upward. All right, bitch, you want to play hide and seek? I guess I'm it. When I find you, your ass is going to get tagged so fucking hard. Let's see, so we have a save point we can use. Let's try the office first. I notice that the door of my study is ajar. With a swift kick, I push open the door and rush inside. Is one of the paintings missing? There doesn't appear to be anyone around, even after a quick search, but within a moment, I find the apparent cause, a fallen piece of framed art. The nail that had been holding it had finally given way, and it had cluttered against my desk before thudding against the ground. Even so, I should finish checking on everything. I turn the handle slowly and throw open the door fluidly. Background! Again, it's an early access. Even without turning on the light, I can see the hall light streaming in that place, and that place is clear. Still, I flop on the light just to be sure. Nothing. I should keep moving. That leaves only the bedroom. I enter quickly, pointing my pistol everywhere, conducting a full sweep. Nothing. Surely the sound I heard was that stupid picture hitting the desk. Jeez. I hear myself utter a solitary chuckle, humorless and sardonic, as some of the stress leaves my body. I'd done it again, succumbed to paranoia. I've embarrassed myself, but there's nothing I can do about it now. I head back up downstairs, suppressing a foolish laugh while I see Samara in the same spot I left her. Amidst the rush of adrenaline and excitement, I don't realize how tired I am until I catch sight of my bedroom. No wonder. I've gone from terror to irritation to incredible pleasure that nearly had me on the cusps of climax, and I'd allowed it to be ended by a goddamn falling picture. Despite sleeping the day away, I feel incredibly exhausted. I enter my room and sit on the edge of the bed, then pull off my boots. Out of habit, I turn to my bedside table where my alarm sits, and I can scarcely believe what I see. It's nearly 5 o'clock in the morning. How is that possible? When the girl showed up, it was only 5 till 2. Between my interrogation and our sexual shenanigans, I would have guessed 30 or 40 minutes had passed, but 3 hours? I had to make sure she didn't leave until I wake up. Although everything seems fine, I don't want to take chances. I would love to have fallen asleep beside her, especially after the rousing fuck, but my exhaustion demands the entire bed, and besides, I'm not sure I completely trust her. She could still try something while I'm asleep. And that's a risk I'm simply not willing to take. I close the door of my room and disrobe, not even bothering to brush my teeth or change into clean pajamas. I toss the clothes everywhere sloppily before crawling under the blanket and wrapping myself up. Unlike most, I've always had a high tolerance for the cold, and it usually helps me think. What a peculiar day it's been. All the shit that had piled up, one thing after the other, had taken a very strange turn at the end. This girl, despite her decidedly odd physique, had a kind of rare beauty that was captivating. Her body, coupled with her gentleness, were so much more alluring than any silicone centerfold or TV model I'd ever seen. Her innocence, along with those surreal blue eyes, and that long black hair that gave me the impression of herb-infused earth, a smell so deep and rich that I wanted to inhale it till my lungs burst. This must be one of those lucky streaks I hear people talk about. And for the first time in 2 months, sleep takes me completely, while a smile graces my lips. Can I get out of that? Oh, okay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Can we pull through it? Uh-oh. I don't think we can. This game's been crashing a lot, so I'm going to end this episode here and start a new one. Hopefully we can get back to it, guys. Sorry it was such a short episode, but as you see, we got a major crash on our hands. This is still early access, so they're still working on the bugs. So let's check out and see if we can fix this. So apparently, after the crash is, maybe where this ends? Yep. So I'm gonna add that in. So that was more of a demo than an early access. Not sure if that should have been paid for like it was, but it does help the dev continue making the game. So I guess I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Wet Nightmares. You might be wondering, oh, is this game fully out? No, it's not. A very lovely fan, who I cannot remember the name of, please forgive me if you're watching this, let me know that the Steam version got an update with Chapter 2. I paid for the early access on Itch.io, and instead of actually, you know, being told about this update, we're just told about shitty new games to buy, which makes me wish I could get the money back. Not gonna lie, that's really not a smart idea. So the bad thing is we will have to start from the beginning, because I don't have my save anymore within the computer. So I could logically just skip over things, but let's see what might be different in Chapter 1. I enter my study. The feeling of anti-creative dread fills me once more. Even if I can't write, I can at least make an outline to give myself something to work with. Boy, do I know that feeling. I'm still so irritated and out of sorts that I'm just noticing the typewriter as I settle myself in. By the way, issue 2 of the comics for sale on the shop. Go check the description. Also, you know, maybe become a member here and be awesome. There's some writing on the sheet I left in the carriage, but did I write this? Huh? What is all this? This doesn't make any sense. I have no recollection of this whatsoever. I know I was writing gibberish earlier, but it wasn't this. There's a rational explanation, there has to be. Fucking ghost using my typewriter. Every 5 minutes they're trying to write me letters. Won't even do the dishes like they're supposed to, but no, they gotta leave spooky messages on my typewriter. Darn ghosts. It's quite possible that I wrote it in my sleep. He probably just fell asleep on my typewriter, honestly. That must be it. I've been so exhausted lately, it wouldn't be the first time I've written something in a stupor. I yank out the page and crumble it without a second thought. No more distractions. Immediately notices a piece of rope. The slowness in which my fingers move reflects my utter disdain and lack of care for this current work. To be fair, when I'm actually being forced to write something for the comic, I have the same thing. And then when I'm not, I'm like, ooh, you know, I could write this chapter right now. Anyone else do writing have that kind of feeling? At this point, I don't give a shit how bad it turns out. I just need to write something some recycled garbage to give to the editor, so I can be done with it. God. I can't do that. I'm better than this. That goddamn publishing company wouldn't be where it is today without me, and they've told me so much. My name is Stephen King. I'm not gonna lie, if they give us the choice in this one to write a name, I might do that to be funny. If that's really the case, though, why are they treating me this way? Why have they given me such an unreasonable deadline? The deadline was 2 years. He's just been sitting there for 2 years doing jack and shit. Fuck! I need to stop tormenting myself. Get a grip. This is the last one you'll write for them. Then you can sell your manuscripts to the highest bidder. We'll see just how well their company does without me. I won't slave away for their fucking... Huh? Ah, shit! What just happened? Did I... Something catches my eye. Or perhaps it was something I felt, and I fell off my chair. That foreboding feeling enters my body once more, like someone is trying to break into my house. But there's no reason for me to be feeling this way. I got a gun. Shit! I scramble to my feet as the feeling intensifies. There was something there, but it's gone now. Everybody knows the joke. I think I made it the first time, so I'm not going to make it this time. It's too easy. Go check out my Let's Play of Silent Hill 2 Remake on the other channel. I'm also going to be doing a modded one soon. Before I can fully process what happened, I hear something that sounds like someone knocking downstairs. A visitor in the 9 years I've been living here, I've only ever had 4 visitors, and never anyone so late. Damn it! I creep downstairs, brandishing my knife as I go, quietly drawing out the revolver that I keep in my waistband. This is too strange. Something's definitely wrong. There's always the possibility that it's a wild animal, but sort of coincidence would have to occur for an animal to be being able to make a knocking sound. Maybe it's a raccoon. And right at my front door, no less. I make my way ever downward, always being sure to leave my gun in front of me. I stop before I reach the last step, just in case someone tries to open fire through the door. Let's see if they knock again. I steady my breath. I steady my breath as I cock my revolver and point it squarely at the door. Who's there? Answer me! Oh, there's someone here? Please, I need help. Something is definitely not right. I'm so terribly sorry to bother you when it's so late, but I'm lost. Lost? Who are you? Where did you come from? Samara. My name is Samara. I came from somewhere off the road. Please. It's so dark and I've been wandering the forest all day. Are you alone? Do you have anyone with you? I quickly make my way to the door and place my finger on the latch. If someone is trying to trick me, I'll catch them off guard. I'm alone, please. I've been walking for hours. It's so cold, so if you could find it in your heart. I throw open the door without warning and point my gun to the owner of the voice, determined to shoot first if her intention is to take me off guard. I take her in within half a second. She's not armed. Her eyes go wide and she shuffles back in fear, but she doesn't run. Within another second, I realize she has no way of harming me, at least not directly. So I take a long moment to examine her more carefully. Pardon me, sir? No, that's not what I want. We do want to save, though. I love the save thing. I'm a little scared. As I said, I got lost. I've been wandering all day. I thought for sure I'd be forced to pass the cold night in the darkness, but then I saw the light of your cabin and... I'm afraid I can't keep myself from shivering. My fingers are numb. I can't stand the idea of spending the night in the dark, here in the middle of nowhere, where anything could happen to me, and to be honest... You know what? I think I'll give her the other voice. This is one of the worst days of my life. Her eyes begin to shimmer, and I half expected her to burst into tears, but she composes herself. If she's acting, she's very convincing, but I still don't buy it. There's something about that look, though. Ah, yes, that's it. It's the same look of frustration that I've had on my face all day. Unlike me, however, she's scared on top of it all. I'll ask you again, is there anyone else with you? No. What are you up to? Nothing, sir. I'm really truly lost. I'm simply looking for a place to stay. If I become a bother, then you can kick me out in the morning, but tonight, I have nowhere else to go. Fuck it. I have nowhere else to go. I've been stumbling around in the dark for hours. Please, sir? How did you get yourself in this situation? I was headed to the capital. I was being driven by a guide, but the road was blocked at one point. He told me that if I got out and walked in a certain direction, I would hit a town soon. He told me it would take longer to drive all the way back around, and that the path would be easy to find. but I got turned around somehow. I became disorientated. Her story strikes me as unlikely, but perhaps I'm being overly cautious. After all, there is in fact a path that cuts through the forest that's not too far from the road. It's fairly close to my cabin here, a little over half a mile, so that part isn't a lie at the very least. So why are you traveling alone? I was going to meet someone, and I wanted to be alone. Why not simply take a bus? They're cheap and reliable. Why hire a driver? My situation is difficult to explain. I've got a bad feeling about you, girl. But why? I realize this is a strange occurrence, a girl showing up at your doorstep in the small hours of the night. Believe me, if there was any alternative, I would have taken it. I do not enjoy being the cause of another's suffering. I can fix your dinner, clean your place, anything you need. My dinner is canned goods and booze, and the place is clean enough. You have nothing out to offer me. Her beautiful eyes shift desperately as I watch her mentally reach for any kind of argument that she could use to advocate herself. Please, sir, I'm only asking for one night. I'll sleep on the floor. I won't make a sound or move at all. I don't even need a blanket. I'll do whatever you want, anything. Come inside and be quick about it. I slid out the bolt pin and opened the door, stepping aside so she can enter, but never taking my eyes away from her. She steps in, making sure she catches a glimpse of the knife I'm holding. Surely there's nothing to worry about from her, but I can't be too careful. With the road closed the way it is, there may be plenty of people looking to take advantage of me in my rural location. Thank you very much, sir, from the bottom of my heart. So, she tilts her head in confusion as a tinge of fear lines her features. She's adorable. I'm sorry, I don't understand. So what? You said anything. Please, what do you mean, sir? You told me that you would do anything to stay here for the night. Yeah. Oh, that. Yes, sir. Whatever you need. All you have to do is ask. What's with all this sir nonsense? Why the hell are you so courteous? How old do you think I am, girl? Oh, I meant no offense. This is just, I've grown accustomed to speaking this way. Because of my schooling. How old are you? 22 years old, of course. Alright, so why are you addressing me like I'm 50 or 60? I apologize. It is a habit. I see. Why don't you guess my age? Go on, have a guess. But... She shifts nervously, obviously not wanting to say anything that will upset me. I'm sorry, I really couldn't guess with any accuracy. What about my looks? Am I the kind of guy you usually go for? Your silence tells me no. Well, to be honest, you are my type. What kind of situation is this? First I have one of the shittiest days of my life, then this beautiful girl shows up out of nowhere. Alone, helpless, willing to do anything, right at my front door, like a fucking customized care package. This has to be a coincidence. There's no motive for a grand conspiracy, not against someone like me, especially in my location. Yet, there is a way to test her true intentions. Well, in that case, I'm going to ask you something very simple. Will you have sex with me? What? Her cheeks ignite crimson as her eyes widen in shock. You heard me, Rel. So I'm curious, I think we went the asshole route. I'm gonna check something. It's been a while since I played this. What if we just let her in? Come inside, be quick about it. Okay. She steps in, I make sure to... Okay. Sorry, I don't understand. What? Oh. Okay, so no matter what, that's the same. I just wanted to see. You heard me, well. Sex, but... That's so personal, and I... You said you'd do anything to spend the night here. I don't recall you adding any caveats. Well, no, it's simply that there are so many other things I could do. But that's different. Well, you can take the difference and turn around. The door's right there. But I'm a great cook. I'm quite versatile. Just give me a chance. The coldest part of the day is right before sun comes up. It should be about 15 degrees. Good luck out there. But you said anything. This is anything. You must not have been as prepared as you thought to pay you for your shelter. A person's lack of resolve always shows itself when they're asked to deliver. Get out of here before I pick you up and toss you out myself. Please? I won't bother you at all. I won't get in the way. It's one night. Then this would be the only night you'd have to have sex with me. It's only fair. You were banking on being able to take advantage of the kind-heartedness of strangers. How is that more innocent than what I'm asking for? You even said I was your type unless... I see, so that was just a lie to get what you wanted. It was not a lie. I'm attracted to men like you. Then why are you making this so difficult? It would be one thing if you found me hideous, but what's the problem here? She goes silent for nearly half a minute, clutching her hands to her chest. She's thinking hard. I see the true dilemma etched in her features. She's incredibly attractive. If she had agreed to sleep with me right away, I would have become more suspicious. But this isn't an act. She's really thinking about whether or not it would be better to freeze to death. Her eyes shift as she trembles a bit. Then she opens her mouth and quietly mutters her reply. Very well. You're going to have to speak up. I'll do it. I'm sorry, what was that? I'll do it. Do what? I'll have sex with you. Really? So you're willing to prostrate yourself for a night out of the cold? But you were the one who asked. Please don't make this harder for me than it already is. All right, then let me touch you however I want and don't argue. Can you do that? Yes. Repeat it. I'm going to let you touch me however you want. And this is so embarrassing. If you can't handle it, then... No, just give me a moment. I'm going to let you touch me however you want, and I won't argue. And you're going to be my little bitch tonight? What? Say it or the deal is off. And I'm going to be your... and I'm going to be your little bitch tonight. Okay. We have a deal then. We're going to have plenty of fun, and hey, with all that physical activity, you won't have to worry about being cold. Yes, sir. Her small agreement makes me doubt the situation once more. It may be in her nature to be submissive, but I've met plenty of women that would have to put up more of a fight. She is acting more like a helpless victim than a girl who somehow found her way through miles of forest. Despite my demands, she's not indignant or angry in the slightest. I brought plenty of women here in the past, but this situation was different. Hell, there were even a few times when they asked me to bring them back when they saw how far into the woods I was driving. But this girl, she has no idea who I am. I'm threatening her with a knife, and she stumbled upon me by accident. And yet she's still here. How can this possibly be a coincidence? If I was in her situation, I'd rather take my chances with the weather. And just like that, the paranoia I've been trying to fight off creeps up once more. Listen to me. Sit down in the middle of the room and don't move, you understand? But what part of not arguing didn't you understand? I'm going. I point at her with my knife deliberately before sheathing it, making sure she stays put. The fleeting memory of that face I saw in my window, then this girl showing up a moment later. Am I being stalked? Is it possible that I'm being baited by someone or a group of people who want to rob me, or worse? I flick off the light inside the living room before heading outside. The girl is still sitting quietly where I left her. I walk around outside the cabin, keeping an equal distance between the wooden walls and the nearest trees. If there's anyone waiting to ambush me, I may be able to get the jump on them, or at least I can put the bullet in someone before they inevitably take a shot at me. I think this is different. Everything seems fine, no footprints, no other signs of life. Still, my instincts tell me to be cautious. I step up with the place directly below my study window. There's no ladder, no tree that could be close enough to climb to, and no footprints. Certainly no sign of a person vaulting from above and sprinting to my front door fast enough to show themselves and then knock a few seconds later. This logic reassures me considerably, but there's still a gnawing in the back of my mind telling me that something isn't right. I make a second sweep of the perimeter, wanting to be sure that nothing foul is afoot. I cast my flashlight to the furthest trees, wondering how far off the light of my cabin could be seen through the thickets. There is absolutely no trace that anyone but her and I are here. I realize upon returning that I made a stupid decision. Even if Samara, if that is indeed her real name, is alone, she could still be armed and could have shot me in the back when I left. But once again, luck had been on my side. I had let paranoia take the reins, but I need to focus. I make sure my knife and gun are close at hand before considering the girl quietly. Thank you for letting me stay here. I stare at her for several seconds as I try to wrap my mind around the uncanny situation. Are you planning to rob me? Of course not. I just want to check something really quick. Where is the options menu? I'll check it later. I seat myself slowly, folding my hands and leaning forward as I take a deep breath. Look, girl, I probably seem like a major asshole to you, but you've got to admit, your story seems pretty hard to believe. I understand, but I swear to you I'm telling the truth. Are you a prostitute? No. You can't blame me for thinking that, can you? After all, it wasn't that difficult to convince you to have sex with me. I've been pretty brutish with you, yet you haven't protested or tried to defend yourself at all. Don't you think that's at least a little suspicious? Circumstances being what they are, I have no other options. Well, you're right about that. Hearing her say it so casually, I realize the truth in her statement. It's possible I was exaggerating the situation in my head, but if she's telling the truth, she simply chose the logical path. I'll say one thing. You were lucky as hell to find this place. It's the only cabin for 50 kilometers around. The next closest place is the burnt-down old cellar. Why are you wearing such a short skirt on such a long trip? It's the only outfit I could find at the time. I see. I still have no idea what to make of this situation, girl. We could both be very lucky or very unlucky. What do you mean? Don't worry about it. Just a writer spouting writer's nonsense. You're a writer? Yeah, but lately it seems like it's only in a title. Oh, how so? It's not important. Forget about it. Want some coffee? This late? I wasn't exactly expecting visitors when you dropped by. It's all I've got. I forgot sometimes that normal people only drink coffee during the day. I only drink it when I need to keep my eyes open. I'm addicted to the caffeine, but it's better than smoking, right? Yes, I think so. I'm going to fix some, and I'd like you to drink a cup with me. Oh. What's wrong? You don't like coffee? I could pour you some booze if you want, but trust me, the coffee's the lesser of two evils. It's not that I don't like it, it's just... I'm always worried about drinks being drugged or spiked with something. Oh, I see. You're just as paranoid as I am. Think about it. I would have had to have known some random girl was coming here tonight to prepare drugs. That's the kind of thing I would need to go into town for. Besides that, those are for men who force themselves on women. But you've already agreed to have sex with me, have you not? Calm down, girl. I won't ask you to fuck. I pushed the matter to see how far you would go to stay here, or how easily you would agree to it. Seriously? Seriously. If you had agreed quickly, I would have assumed that your intentions were less than innocent. Let's just say I'm not exactly a trusting type. Most people in this world will do anything and everything to get the upper hand. They'll screw over anybody, no matter how good or bad they are, however much they want and not deserve it. However they might not deserve it. I simply learned how to be the bad kind. That's why I live in the middle of the forest. Oh. Has anyone ever tried to take advantage of you? More times than I can count, as far back as I remember. Even here, about 6 years ago, this pair of 20-something dickhead couples showed up to give me trouble. Is that a reference? That's a reference to, is it The Strangers? I think that's the name of it. They kept showing up with rifles, getting closer and closer to my cabin. I don't think they were here to hunt, even though that's what they said. Oh, that's actually a really cool picture. I want to get rid of the dialogue, but I can't. I think that's new. I don't remember that art, so that means they finished some of the art. So I think I looked at a very, very early version. I tried to be cordial with them, telling them that this was private property and that I wasn't comfortable with them hunting around here. The girl proceeded to fire a shot dangerously close to my feet and told me to fuck myself. I went into town to try and settle it legally, like a fucking civil human being. But the cops told me that if I didn't have any evidence, there was nothing they could do. I asked them if they could at least keep an eye out for unlicensed hunters or guys using rifles that weren't legally for hunting, but they pretty much told me to go to hell. Not with their words, but with their actions. I never saw a single squad car or mounted unit anywhere around here. They ghosted me. The cops in this county have always been incompetent, so I wasn't really surprised. I have a good relationship with them, though, since the chief's daughter is a fan of my books, but man, they can't get anything right. They only got off their asses when there's some sort of murder or someone goes missing. But even then, they can't do a damn thing about it. I realized I would have to take matters into my own hands. I don't know why, but that feels more pressing for this dude. So I started waiting for those boys. I waited for them every day. 6 months passed and I started to think that maybe I'd gotten lucky and they'd never come around again. But lo and behold, they showed up one night at my door, some ridiculous time, like 2 a.m. They started saying some crazy shit about how his wife or girlfriend or whatever was hurt, banging on the door like 2 idiots. I didn't buy a word of it. I just stayed inside and kept my mouth shut. When they realized I wasn't gonna fall for their stupid trick, they started busting up the place, even breaking my windows. I crept upstairs while they got bolder, hearing them toss my place, probably to see if there was anything worth stealing. Maybe they were drunk or high or both. What would a man like me living in the middle of nowhere have that's worth stealing? I hid in one of the rooms and waited patiently. The first to fall was the girl who had shot at my feet. When they kicked in my door, I fired twice. She took one squarely to the chest and the other into the leg. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a case of fuck around and find out. He left her there like a coward as he ran toward the window, hobbling while she died on the spot. I followed him. He was in such a rush to get out that he dragged himself through the same window he'd broken, and he cut himself on a jagged piece of glass. He was about 20 meters before he fell and bled to death. I spent the next 2 years modifying and reinforcing my cabin to make sure no one could get in or out without me knowing. The point is, I've been trying to be civil my whole life, but it never worked out. Hell, that's why I moved all the way out here in the first place. I hope I didn't bore you with my shitty story. No, it's okay. I don't know why, it just feels more natural to do that for him. Enough about me. Where are you from? Up north? From across the border? Sorry. From across the border? So, you're Canadian, huh? That explains why you're overly kind. Although I can't imagine it's been all that kind to you if you're leaving it.
Oh no, I didn't leave for bad reasons.
Oh, what was it then?
Oh, if you don't mind, I'd prefer to keep that to myself.
Keep the past in the past, huh? I can understand that. The world doesn't seem to favor oversharers or people that are too kind, unless they have shitloads of money and servants that can do all the grunt work for them. Anyway, the coffee should be ready right about now. Sugar?
Yes, please.
So that's where we're gonna leave it. So, thank you guys for joining me for the first episode of the return of this series. Have a great day, guys, and please become a member here on YouTube. Check out my other channel, Sinfully Pure, and like and comment and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Bye, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to Wet Nightmares Demo. So apparently, like I said before, this is supposed to go up to Chapter 2, so what you're seeing is a lot of the original stuff in Chapter 1, but it has been finished, a lot of the art. So we are going to see new things. Alright, here you go, hot and fresh. Hopefully it's not too bitter for you.
Thanks.
Why don't you stand up? Come on, let me get a good look at you. I want to see what I'm going up against. She stands up quickly with a pursed lip, with almost military-like rigidity. It's kind of hard to read it sometimes with the way the color is. Relax, girl. I'm just giving you a once-over. I shamelessly allow my eyes to roam over her feminine form. Her incredible legs would look good on anything. Oh, that is not what I wanted. They're perfectly shaped and exquisite, voluptuous. But I guess we don't get to see it. You're a very pretty girl.
Oh, thank you.
You're not really on the run. You're not really on the run. You look like you just came from a nightclub or something. The only thing that throws the outfit off are those army boots. But I guess the style is in for those kinds of outfits.
I was only about 4 or 5 hours from my destination, and I wanted to look good for the person who's going to receive me.
I would ask who is going to receive you, but I'm going to stop bothering you with so many questions. It seems like you'd rather not be asked about your personal life, and I completely get that.
No, it's alright, really.
I see. Who are you going to see then? A boyfriend?
Something like that. Something like that.
What the hell does that mean? I arch my brow in curiosity and she fidgets normally. I'm going to take a picture. I'm really asking, what do you mean?
It's complicated. You see, we met online.
Oh, one of the internet flings, gotcha. So, it's one of those cyber hookups that are so popular these days?
It's not like that, we're just friends.
Just friends, huh? This is an awful lot of trouble you're going through to see just a friend.
Well, it's just that
Forget it, none of my business. You don't have to explain it to me.
I don't mean to be cryptic, but it's so hard to explain our relationship. I apologize.
No need for that. Like I said, you don't need to explain. I have a hard time picturing how anyone could have a long-distance relationship over a screen and a wire. All the rush of getting to know someone in person is gone. It almost seems like an imitation to me. Again, sorry for the way I'm speaking. It's a little hard sometimes to read the dialogue. I wish there was a little bit more shadow behind it to help. Oh well. God, I sound like such an old-fashioned fuck saying stuff like that. Oh wait, no, right, I gave him a... Oh well. God, I sound like such an old-fashioned fuck saying stuff like that. No matter. Anyway, there's something else I need to ask you and you're not gonna like it. I need you to take off that sweater.
Huh?
Don't make a big deal out of it. I just want to make sure you're not packing heat or steel.
Oh, okay. I understand.
A bit oversized for you anyway, don't you think?
Well, it was a gift, so...
A gift for a much chestier woman, perhaps. Your cup size doesn't warrant all this material. Well, it looks like you're clean. Now I just need to frisk the rest of you.
Frisk?
Why do you seem so surprised? If you're going to sleep here, I need to make sure I'm not making a huge mistake.
I promise I won't try to get fresh with any of your intimate parts, but I also need to make sure you don't have anything you can stab me with in the back. You're still a stranger here under the strange circumstances. I realize that I might be acting paranoid, but I won't be able to sleep if I don't check you out thoroughly. I'm sorry. You can blame my lack of grace on all the bad experiences in my life. Yes, I understand. Do what you must. Okay, turn around and spread your arms and legs. I'm gonna forget every time I start this that I gave him a country. Well, okay! It's actually a nice picture. What happens if we say yes? Yes, I'm finished. Why do you ask? Because, well, I think you missed a few places. Huh? Where exactly? A few spots a bit higher. Booty? I'm looking over her sudden decision. Am I overlooking her sudden decision to have sex with me? I can't think about that right now. I should take advantage of this moment. Honestly, I'm too tired to continue with my constant suspicion of everyone and everything. Too mentally exhausted. Lady Luck may be knocking, and I'm simply too jaded and worn out to open the door. Hold on. What can she possibly do to me? In any case, she's so frail, so delicate. I've already checked her. She has no weapons with her. The only thing I haven't checked is that backpack. I need to check it, just to be sure. But right now, I can't take my eyes away from her. My hands begin to move on their own. I begin to touch her, enraptured by her perfect legs so pristine that they could have come from a marble statue. My hands dance across the delicate curves of her firm bottom and thighs, more sculpted and stellar than any other woman I've ever been with. Despite being on the verge of losing control, I'm kept in check by the amazing coolness of her skin, exceptionally soft and moisturized as it is. You have the perfect legs. You've had the most perfect legs I've ever seen in all my life. Thanks. I envy your internet friend if he gets to touch you like this. He is just a friend. He is just a friend. I don't think we'll be doing anything like this. Oh, so what's the difference between him and I? Well, to tell the truth, I'd like to pay for my stay here. And though it scared me in the beginning, I'm hearing that you wanted sex, and I started to make peace with the idea. Oh, so when you go to your friend, do you plan on paying for the stay there in the same way? I don't know. Likely not, but I don't want to think about that right now. Her stocking-clad legs are like two of the ripest, sweetest fruits just waiting to be unpeeled. They adorn her so beautifully, it's almost a shame to remove them. But then, I know that at some point I must. But for now, I will content myself with touching this delicious stripe of skin that's peeking out from over the top, right beneath the object of my most intense desire. I know as soon as I grab her ass, it's going to be over. I won't be able to contain myself, and I want to enjoy this for as long as possible. Thanks. Are you enjoying yourself? No, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? It depends. On what? What the hell are you getting at? I mean, it depends on whether you want me to enjoy it or if you'd prefer me to be scared and nervous. I wasn't expecting an answer like that. I like the way you think. But I really want to know, are you having a good time or not? I can say that I'm enjoying it if that's what you want. I prefer the pleasure I bring to be legitimate. But don't worry, you won't have to act if that's what you're thinking. I'm good at what I do. If I wasn't sitting, my legs would probably have been given out. Her words have me frozen in time. Somewhere in my dark heart, in the deepest recesses of my mind, I had always wanted a woman to say those words to me. Those exact words, word per fucking word. And she had spoken them sincerely, completely with those adorable, timid pause in between. Her words were like a solemn prayer, petrifying my soul and rocking me to my core. I take her by the shoulders and ease my tongue over the corner of her mouth. Then I kiss her slowly, deliberately. I have never done this before. I've always kept my lovers at a distance. I'm always in control. They love it. Those women, they love being tortured by my withheld desires, even if they hate to admit it. Even if it makes them upset, it makes them want me more. But with this girl, I am at a loss for how she makes me feel. Tune in next time! By the way, if you're watching on YouTube and you want to see what you guys have missed, please think about becoming a supporter on Patreon and Subscribestar. I would absolutely adore to give the uncensored to YouTube members, but unfortunately, I think even if I link those, I would absolutely be shit-canned. So, thank you guys so much for joining me. You're awesome as always, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe and comment. Let me know what games you want to see me play next. Bye. Welcome back to Wet Nightmares. Her dainty, trembling fingers begin to work on undoing my buckle. I consider her face for a long moment. I want you to take your time with this, alright? Oh. Okay, so those on YouTube are just joining us. So, we were getting a blowjob. She turned slightly demonic, as girls do giving blowjobs. It's getting weird. So you guys wouldn't realize this, but I just paused the game to find out we have another storm coming, another hurricane. I hate hurricane season. That was it? I heard there was a part 2. Alright, well, I guess that's it. I'll see you guys next time, where we'll be starting a new game. Bye, guys. Confused. Hello and welcome back to Wet Nightmares. This might be a surprise to a few people. The lovely developer actually contacted me and gave me a code, so we're going to look and continue from where we left off. No, I want to load. Question mark? There we go. What? What the fuck? Where am I? Huh? Where the fuck am I? Is this my room? Why can't I see anything? Have I been kidnapped? Am I tied up? What the fuck is going on? Or am I dreaming again? My neck feels like it's burning and my hands are freezing. The space behind my eyes throb, and some strange reason I'm feeling the kind of fear that I haven't experienced in for many years. Relax. This must be a dream. Just relax. The unmistakable shuffle of someone desperately searching for something emanates from below. Apparently someone is inspecting the whole place, but am I at home? Relax, just hold your temper and analyze the fucking thing like you always have. I can't move. That means I'm either asleep or paralyzed, or something has me pinned down. But I don't feel strings around my body or anything like that. I just can't move. Then this must be a paralysis of the dick. If I'm still at home, it looks like someone is on the first floor. Shit. Why can't I see anything? The last time I had sleep paralysis, at least I could see. I don't understand what's going on. Little by little, the atmosphere becomes faintly lighter, and some wooden beams are slowly drawn in front of me. I realize that I'm suspended in midair. A shiver runs through me as I realize that the sounds I'm perceiving aren't coming from the floor below. They're in the same room as me. It's all starting to make sense. The wooden beams in sight are the beams of my ceiling, and I'm suspended way up in the middle of my room. If I had my own mobility, I'm close enough to touch the ceiling, but it's useless. No matter how hard I try to move,
I can only produce tiny tremors in my limbs, barely perceptible to my senses. I can hear all too well how something or someone is throwing my books, how they overturn the table, they knock over the armchair, the cushions, and everything in the room violently. It sounds more like a desperate search than someone who's simply throwing a tantrum. Suddenly I can move my neck, but just hearing all the crazed activity below paralyzes me once more. Now it's only my fear that's making me feel disgustingly... Is there a 1 in there? Helpless. What? I don't want to turn around. I don't want to know what's underneath me. I just want to close my eyes and wait for that thing to go away. I'll do that. I squeeze my eyes shut and fearfully wait for whatever it is to leave the room. I'm sickened by my cowardice, but not enough to open my eyes. None of that matters anymore. Pride, my ego, there's only terror. But I have nothing to gain by paralyzing myself like this. Damn it, if only I knew what was going on. I just have to breathe and analyze the situation. What are we fucking, chick? Just breathe. This must be a dream. No one can float. This isn't real. Just let it happen. Let it happen and you'll wake up. Despite the horror I feel, I can understand its actions just by listening. Maybe I made that too long. From one moment to the next, I hear the thing carrying its footsteps out of the room. Now it's in my study, fluttering things around just as it had underneath me only moments ago. It's fast, inhumanly fast. I'm shivering so hard that it feels as if my spine is unhinged. I listen with mounting fear as it minnows through seemingly everything I own. Suddenly, there are 3 footsteps on the stairs and then a loud slam of the door, followed by the eerie silence. It seems like the thing has finally left my house. I hope that the bastard won't return, and hopefully he didn't even notice me. No matter how hard I try, I can't move. I can only turn my neck limply. Such a pervasive sense of helplessness that it's making me feel completely ill and incompetent. I hate myself for it. My self-hatred fuels my determination, and I begin to reason it all out. The most logical thing is that this isn't real. This isn't happening, right? You aren't in danger, nor have you ever been. Soon you'll wake up and everything will be over. Because this is a dream. It is obvious that it is a dream. There is no other explanation. You are dreaming. You're dreaming, you're dreaming, you're dreaming, you're dreaming, you're dreaming, you're dreaming. These senseless things only happen in the... Damn it, my house. Ah! I slam sharply onto the floor, just inches from my bed. Shit! My arm. It feels like it's broken. The pain feels too real for me to be asleep. I hit my arm, hip and head against the ground as I fall. I can feel a sharp stabbing pain spreading all the way down my arm, all the way to my collarbone. What the fuck is going on? My whole room is in shambles, everything thrown all over the place. There isn't a single thing that's not on the floor. It's as if my whole room has been turned upside down and then violently shaken. Okay, I got it. I don't know what's going on, but this is definitely not a dream. Where's my gun? I need... What the fuck is happening? My knife! Where the fuck is my knife? I begin to search manically for some of my weapons, but the situation is making me feel like I'm completely foreign place. The only thing I can remember is that this was my house. and in my room. However, as I try to wrap my mind around the concept, it doesn't fit in with the crimson veil that I'm suddenly aware of. Shit. This is my fucking house. Why does everything look so strange? I don't even remember that this is actually my house. I just know it's my house, but... I leave the room, crouching a bit, as I don't know if anyone or anything is nearby, trying to watch me through the windows. I have no idea what's going on. I can't remember where I am or what happened the day before. The only thing that's present is the sharp pain in my arm that's throbbing intensely with the rhythm of my heartbeat. Shit. Why can't I remember anything? I can only use logic to defend myself, as I've always done. So, making an enormous effort to remain calm, I descend the stairs with a sure, heavy step, as if I'm trying to trample my own fear. But it's the opposite. The closer I get to the first floor, the more afraid I feel. Still, I have to stay calm for as long as possible, and think things through, or everything will end up playing against me. If my own home has become foreign to me at the moment, then I should look in the most obvious places for something to defend myself with. Here! There must be something here. A knife, an ice pick, a fucking meat tenderizer, whatever! If I'm going down once and for all, I'll take the son of a bitch who tries to. I found a cheese grater. Did you lose something? Who? Who are you? Hey there, girl. How you looking? Looking hot as always. Bitch boy. Shit. The morning greets me in the worst possible way. Instinctively, I grab my arms, only to realize that it doesn't hurt at all. I'm shaking. Great. Now I can't tell the difference between dreams and reality either. Fantastic. This is getting worse every day. I massage my temples slowly, trying to calm my frustration and allow my heart rate to return to normal. I realize that my forehead is covered with a cold sweat, almost like the kind you get when you're sick. I'm a little dizzy and weak, and have a slight urge to vomit. My body is in a state where I could sleep for 2 days in a row and it wouldn't do any good. The simple act of stretching causes my muscles to tremble violently. No doubt it's clear that even my sleep is riddled with stress. And the particularly low ambient temperature was only making things worse. I feel terrible. And there's that musty smell again. Great, I've got black mold. Fucking wonderful. As I turn to look at the clock, I'm back at my shitty reality, 3 p.m. At what fucking point did I start sleeping so much, even when I'm stressed out of my mind? I rise like the most sluggish creature in the world, wishing I could sleep until 3 p.m. the next day. Of course I know it wouldn't do any good, so I pull on the jeans that are barely on the floor and walk to the door. I do the dinosaur. The moment I open it, I immediately remember everything that had happened the night before. The girl, her arrival, and everything we had done. I couldn't remember her until I passed the threshold of my bedroom. Hey, girl. Are you awake? Aw, I forgot, she cute. She cute. She wakes with a start, immediately seeing me standing at the doorway. Her contentance is lovely and sensual, with her long, barely matted hair and sleepy eyes. Without a word, she stretches provocatively over the covers. Her legs look smooth and firm, but her arms, despite being covered by her black blouse, look extremely fragile. The way she's stretching gives me a delicious glimpse of her underwear, It makes me want to take her right then and there, but with the energy I have at the moment, I might actually pass out on top of her. No, what I need is breakfast and a good amount of coffee. Her thighs are so tempting, however. She's only stretching, but it's more than enough to turn me on. In the end, the combination of excitement, tiredness, and stress is only making me crankier. I look everywhere except for the girl in the middle of my office. Nothing looks out of place. Everything is just as I had left it. Once again, I blame it on my exorbitantly high stress level. I have nothing to worry about. But slowly the specter of my stupid novel begins to creep up on me, weighing down on me like a boulder wrapped around my neck. But the mere sight of my unexpected tenant, who I know I could make mine at some point during the day, is gracing my shitty morning with a modicum of optimism. I head downstairs without saying anything to her, and put the coffee on to boil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With a yawn that seems like it's going to go on forever, I begin to prepare my breakfast, suddenly feeling like I want to devour everything that doesn't absolutely require cooking. The moment I taste some of the ham, my body screams at me to devour more. I grab 4 slices from the package without thinking. I remember that I have not eaten anything since yesterday, and all day before that I had gone to bed without dinner. How stressed can a person be? I pour myself a glass of water and drink it in the record time, only to drink 2 more in less than a minute. My hands are shaking with hunger. I can tell that my blood pressure has dropped, which can only be making everything else that much worse. My food has always tasted good, but I've never been one for presentation. I just put everything on the plate, on the kitchen counter, and eat breakfast standing up, as I have always done. The moment I taste the first bite, however, it feels as if heaven were touching my tongue. I devour my meal as if my life depends on it. Not only that, but despite years of eating breakfast while standing, I actually need to sit down. I don't think much of it, though. I'm too busy waiting for the coffee to be ready. I'm sure even a starving dog wouldn't eat this fast. For a brief moment, there is no worry about my stupid novel or the arrival of that girl. There's only the desire to satiate my hunger. The meal I prepped seems too meager, so when I finish, I immediately get up to make more. Huh? Where's the knife? Where did I leave the damn knife? I'm sure it was next to the cutting board. It couldn't have just up and disappeared. Did you lose something? Ah! Good morning. Forgive me. My intention was not to scare you. What did you say? I just said good morning. No, before that. That you had lost something? It's just that I saw you looking everywhere. Sorry, I didn't mean to bother you. I was curious, that's all. I returned with some indifference to prepare another meal, but I can't help but give a fleeting glance of resentment over my shoulder at my guest. Something wrong? No, I think I'm just too tired, that's all. Oh, I understand. Samantha, right? Samara. Samara, of course. Did you sleep well, Samara? Yes, thank you very much for your kindness, sir. To tell you the truth, it's the first night I've spent quietly in a long time. I'm glad at least one of us had a good night. What do you mean? Forget it, girl. I'm just talking to myself. Excuse me, what are you making? Breakfast, usually. That's what prepared at this hour. Well, anything counts as breakfast if it's your first meal, regardless of the time, don't you think? Oh, well, you look a little upset. I'm just kidding. No, actually, you're right. It's freaking 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Breakfast is long past. To tell you the truth, I don't even know what day it is. Well, that's true, but I didn't want to upset you. If it's any consolation,
I also slept all day. I know, but for my reason is a personal issue. Is something about your work, isn't it? How do you know? Well, yesterday you mentioned that you were a writer, but you complained about not getting much writing done lately, and well, I assume that if you were talking that way, it's because you were having difficulty in your work? Wow, so you are attentive to detail. I said a lot of things yesterday. I didn't think something so small would have stuck with you. I like to listen to people. I see. Do you want some breakfast, Samantha? It's Samara. Samara, right. I really don't want to trouble you more than I already have. How long has it been since you last ate something, Samara? Your silence says it all. It doesn't bother me, girl. You're already here. You just have to ask. Well, in that case, could you share some of your breakfast with me? I haven't eaten since I left my house. So, in addition to bed, you want breakfast without even having paid for your stay yet? Pay, but The coffee is ready, so I pour myself a nice cup, then blow on it anxiously in order to gulp it down. I take a butter knife and prepare a bit of everything the best I can. Without saying a word, I push the plate into her hands. I realize that she hasn't said anything. Then it hits me that she hasn't picked up that my comment about payment wasn't serious. She stares at the plate silently with an expression that denotes concern and uncertainty. If you need me to have sex to pay for my stay here, I can do that. No, girl, I'm just making a dumb joke. There's not usually anyone around to make jokes to, so I suspect I suck at making them. And I'd imagine in your position, you're not going to take anything as a joke. So I'm sorry, I should have read the room. Although I do appreciate your willingness to pay me. Well, it's just that, to tell you the truth, I think it's necessary to pay you somehow, since, well, I would like to, if I could. Come on, spit it out, girl. Well, I'd like to know if I could stay another day with you. Another day? Oh, well, obviously, if it's not too much of a burden to you. I don't want to bother you in any way. In return, I could cook for you food or be your assistant or something. And even what you said about paying for me to stay was a joke. I'm aware that nothing is free in life, so I would like to pay for your kindness in some way. And if you want me to repay you with sex, I'd be very happy to repay you in whatever way I can. What are you talking about, girl? I just let you in and gave you a couple of blankets. It wasn't a big deal. Well, that's more than most would have done for me. Her countenance is sad for a few seconds, to which I respond by turning back to the counter to finish my food. I glance at the window to keep an eye on her reflection. But instead of a reflection, I find a dirty pane, as if it hadn't been washed in weeks. I'm always so careful about keeping everything tidy. There's no way I could have missed that window. And yet, there's a layer of soot there, as thick as a fish tank that hasn't been cleaned in weeks. It isn't that noticeable, but it's enough to cloud the window entirely. My mind wanders suddenly. I don't know what to think about her or the way my life has seemed to change so drastically within the last few weeks. I'm living away from people for a reason. I resent having contact with people. It almost always ends in something negative for me, usually because I can't put up with their holier-than-thou bullshit. Either that, or I've been forced to put on a fake smile and brown-nose everyone in order to make my way up and get better opportunities. I know perfectly well how to act enigmatic and mysterious with girls so that I can easily get sexual partners, which I'm very proud of, but this? Unlike the other girls, I don't need to flirt with her to get what I want, so I'm having a hard time knowing what kind of attitude to maintain. Look, it's just that... Oh, right here. As you may have noticed, I'm quite paranoid about people in general, so I need to know why you have this sudden incessance of wanting to stay here when just yesterday you told me that someone is waiting for you in the capital. Well, I really don't know. It's like a hunch. Look, I know that it might sound stupid and superstitious, and that many may not believe in this kind of thing, but I feel like I shouldn't leave yet. Maybe it's because I'm sleeping in a place that's not my home and because of everything that happened to me yesterday, but I spent the night having horrible nightmares and I woke up very startled, and now I feel like someone's stalking me.
Stalking you, you say?
Yes, it's not that I want to bother you, but I would really just like to get over this horrible feeling before I leave.
So that's where we're going to leave it. Are we going to let her stay? We'll have to find out next time, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm currently demonetized, so if you want to support the channel and keep these videos going, please check out my Patreon and Subscribestar and the other links in the description. Bye, guys. Welcome back to Wet Nightmares. Please. It's alright, girl, you can stay. It's too cold for you to go anywhere in that short skirt anyway.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. I promise to pay you as you wish, even with sex if that's what you want.
And I appreciate your willingness. Now go eat. She begins to eat quietly with a calmer contents, and I pour myself more coffee. She really seems to enjoy the bread with the butter and sugar that I had hurriedly prepared for her. She licks the grains of sugar from the corners of her lips in a way that makes me have a fleeting desire to suck on her tongue.
Thank you for breakfast, sir.
You don't have to thank me, girl.
What happened to your table and chairs?
I donated them to charity.
Oh, I see.
As I run my fingers across the glass, I realize what a sarcastic and automatic response I had given. By the way, that was also a joke.
Oh, I understand. That's funny.
Oh, no, actually, it was a terrible joke. You don't have to laugh. Now that I think about it, even if you wanted to leave, you can't.
What do you mean?
There was a landslide at the foot of the road, right at the main entrance. There's no passage, and unfortunately, it's the only way to not only get to the capital, but to Everill, other city in the area. Yesterday, before you came to my house, I tried to go to the town to get stock on supplies, like I do every month, and they wouldn't let me through.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and knowing the incompetence of the authorities in this place, I'm sure it'll take much longer than they said to clear up the roads. There on the living room table. There on the living room table is the TV remote. If you don't believe me, you can flip for the news. You could try to leave, but I sincerely doubt you'll get anywhere. There is a police checkpoint a few meters before the accident.
Oh, I see.
I finish my coffee and pour myself one more, which I drink much faster than the other two. I'm going for a walk. Her large eyes widen with an expression of uncertainty. I'm going for a walk in the woods. I need to clear my head to start working. You're going to stay here.
Couldn't I come with you?
I finish my second plate and my third cup of coffee, then haphazardly place them in the sink. As I said, I need to clear my head, but I need silence, cold air, and to be alone. Otherwise, it won't work.
Is there anything I can do to help you?
Stay here while I go out to clear my mind.
I understand.
Here, I can only think of what I'm doing wrong with my job, and the pressure is getting stronger and stronger, so I need to get out. She lowers her gaze, apparently not knowing what else to say, or perhaps she's keeping quiet so as to not say something that would upset me. I don't know how long it'll take, but I'll try to keep it as short as possible so you won't be alone for too long. You can watch TV to distract yourself. Just don't touch anything in my studio. I'll say it again, you can look all you want, but don't touch.
Yes, okay. Thank you very much, sir.
And when I come back, if you want to, we could continue what we interrupted yesterday.
But only if you want to, obviously.
I'd love that, beautiful. To be honest, I could really use a good time with a beautiful girl like you.
I'm going to do my best to make sure you enjoy the experience.
With those beautiful eyes and that sensual body you have, you won't need to do anything and it'll still be a unique experience. Anyway, I'm leaving. I'm going to lock the door. I'll try not to be too late. Alright. Good luck. Can I make myself some tea? Of course. Just don't touch anything more than necessary and don't leave anything lying around. I don't like clutter. I leave the cabin, lock the door, and look through the window to take one last glance at that innocent face, whose silhouette I can barely make out because of the sudden dirt that has appeared on the glass. I try the knob, making sure it's securely locked. For the moment, there's nothing to worry about regarding that girl, but I shouldn't let my guard down. The moment I set off the porch, my legs waver a bit. I'm exhausted even after eating, but I need a walk. I have to finish that fucking novel soon, and hikes through the cold forest are the only way I know to get the fucking inspiration to come to my mind, as I never believe that bullshit about inspiration coming from the heart. The notion is pure poetic bullshit. The heart is not good for writing. It's only good for fulfilling whatever it comes across with stupid words and meaningless rhymes. The mind is what truly builds solid stories. There are proven techniques, methods to write productively and get work done, even without inspiration. And if you use them right, you can fake all that romantic crap and even surpass it. It's something that has never failed me in all my years as a writer. And that's why I need to go for a walk to get my thoughts in order. Sometimes it takes a few hours, but it never failed me. Unfortunately, for some unknown reason, little by little, all the previously infallible techniques and methods I know have stopped working in less than 3 months, and it's starting to worry me too much. But my concerns is dwarfed by the torture of having to continue to be just one more filthy pawn of that pathetic publishing house. Without wasting any more time, I head to the forest, thinking about my book, but mostly about the girl who's changed my rhythm so drastically. I'm still puzzled by the story of how she got here. Something doesn't add up, but still my gut intuition has never failed me, so whether she's telling the truth or not, her intentions aren't bad. She's truly strange and unusually beautiful girl. In addition, she offered me sex in exchange for giving her shelter in my cabin. Maybe despite all the bad, she's always dreamed of a situation like this, so you might as well take advantage of it. Yet, something is off about it. Perhaps I'm erring on the side of paranoia as usual. There are definitely some crazy and interesting girls in this world. I will never understand the fixations so many. Thanks for telling me you downloaded, man. So many of them have, feeling weak and helpless in front of someone stronger. I mean, it really turns some of them on. Personally, I can't think of anything I'd hate more. Here we go. I'd rather eat a bowl of bullets every day than have to feel that kind of helplessness. Although, at the end of the day, that particular fetish is what has made me famous over the years. What is happening to me? I've always used the same formula for writing, and it's never failed me. Go to town, seduce some girl, bring her back, talk a little, then fuck her all night. Try to remember the whole thing in a great detail, then write down how dominant I had been with her. Then rewrite everything from the point of view I imagined she might have. Put that all down on paper, embellish it all with some cheesy analogies. I remember the girl who told me that she turned on by being insulted and spit upon right in the face. When I started to do it, she came almost violently and screamed out in pleasure, to such an extent that she ended up losing her voice the next day. There was another girl who asked me to be very violent with her during sex, even to punch her in the stomach. I couldn't believe how much it turned her on. Thanks for telling me you downloaded. Maybe I need to take some advantage of this girl's willingness to have sex with me. I might get a different positive result now that I know she's willing to pay for her stay in such a way. I'm running out of options and I don't want to use the ace up my sleeve again. I feel the cold seizing my fingers. My breath is fogging in front of me. I inhale deeply, enjoying the feeling of the winter air filling my lungs. It's exactly what I need to concentrate on my book. My book. I don't even consider it mine anymore. Those son of a bitches at the publishing house only see the profit they make from my work and celebrate it as they wrote every word that put them in that position. And yet they still dare to demand more of me, treating me as if I lick their boots when they are the ones who should be groveling in front of me. I've had enough of those bastards. They may feel like gods of their domain, but all they know how to do is bark and issue unrealistic orders. Even though they treat me a lot differently than some of the others, it doesn't change the fact that it's still a terrible way to treat an artist. I'd break someone's bones for less. I should kill them all. I'm just gonna say it in the most just walking around the forest and you just hear him go. You just hear someone go, I should kill them all. My voice echoes throughout the cold forest. I'm breathing hard, my hands clenched in fists. I look back. I had already traveled most of my usual route, and instead of thinking about my novel, I've wasted time reminiscing about the past and thinking about those idiots who have made my life miserable. How dare they put this pressure on me when I've given them so much already? I'm the only one who put them on the map when they were nobodies. My novels are the only publications that put their company on the bestseller list. You might want to put like a bit more of a black outline behind the words, because it is hard under some of the background for that. I should be praised for my work, or at least given a little bit more leeway, damn it. I still curse the day all went to shit. That awful moment when the disgusting woman came onto me, and I so vehemently rejected her. That's when she started to make my life miserable. She's always been an eyesore with that big, disgusting body that shows her total disregard for her own health. Surely she couldn't run for 2 minutes in this place. It would have been fun to hunt her down in this forest. I would have given her 3 minutes head start, put my skills to the test. I would only use my knife. I would even go barefoot without wearing a jacket and... I'm rambling on about stupid things again. I haven't even begun to think of an opening for my damn book. I don't know, you just had a good one right the fuck there. And besides, a lot of guys take years to write the greatest work. I don't see why I can't have just a little more time to write mine. The only thing that bitch is good at is pushing me around. Pressure me. Me, the one who made her so much money. Me, who made her shitty publishing house relevant. My novels are the only works that keep their revenue coming in. Not even the work of that hippie piece of shit with all his poetic crap compares to the profits I'm giving them. If only I had read that fucking contract more carefully. The one she didn't have the guts to hand to me in person. I wouldn't be in this shit situation. I should have read it several times before signing it. I could have caught the scent of betrayal. Tell everybody read your fucking contracts. But none of that matters to me. It's already the last book. The last obstacle after this. I'll finally be rid of them. I'm sure it's going to weigh heavily on them. I just have to... The unmistakable feeling of being watched from yesterday, it's returned with vengeance. It's an unmistakable feeling someone is stalking me. I turn suddenly, trying to see all possible points where someone could be watching me. I immediately remember that the girl had told me that she had the feeling of being stalked. I looked down at myself, agitated, slightly hunched over, and with my arms poised at my sides, ready to attack like a wild animal. Like a stupid beast trying to defend itself from a predator. I scoff through my nose at how stupid I'm being. What the fuck am I thinking? It's obvious that this is a manifestation of stress. I stood still, expecting to hear footsteps crunching over the leaves, but I hear nothing. If someone really was stalking me, I would have heard their footsteps. That rustling of leaves was part of my therapy every time I went for a walk in the woods. So no one was out there. I must calm down. Even a few deers around here are careful when they move. Trying to look natural, I reach into my pocket,
to grip my pistol. I feel a little stupid to take a precaution even after convincing myself that no one is stalking me. If someone could see me, in theory, I could see them too. The only thing that could hunt me down without me noticing would be a soldier in camouflage, a special military team or some shit like that. It's obviously not the case. Or ghosts. Besides, the shitty town I occasionally go to is just full of incompetent, disguised cops. Disgruntled. Even the chief of police treats me like royalty, as his daughter was a great admirer of my work. I still remember when that fat guy brought her to meet me. That dainty little girl came up to me from behind, her thick glasses and a pair of braids, proudly clutching my entire book collection. I treated her with the kindness and gentleness I had practiced so much in the mirror to impress people, and she seemed to fall head over heels in love. So much so that she tried to hide the blush on her face several times, but to no avail. I even heard how she tried to unsuccessfully to stifle a small moan when I kissed her on the cheek to say goodbye, but maybe it was just my imagination. I had never seen anyone so excited about my existence. When she came of age, I could look her up. I would love to fuck her all night and fill her with my fluids, leave her naked, sweaty, and exhausted on the floor, breathing so quickly that she nearly hyperventilates, with a smile to match her satisfaction. Maybe a new book would come out of that encounter. I'm trying to stay calm and distract myself with these thoughts, but even though I keep talking, I turn every now and then to all sides very discreetly. My knife goes from being sheathed to being wielded in one free hand. If no one is following me, at least it gives me peace of mind that... Ah! I start to run as fast as my feet will carry me, not caring about the consequences. I feel as if the skin on my back is splitting open as a result of the massive shiver that's vibrating down my spine. I don't even look to where I'm going. I just run. I unwittingly gave in to the forbidden and primitive instinct for survival. Without being able to stop myself, I just keep running. Little by little, the sensation fades away, but it isn't as if I have lost the thing that was chasing me, but rather, it has lost interest in chasing me. Damn it. Slowly, I transition from running to a light jog. Around the same time, I'm finally able to stop and catch my breath. I rest my hands on my knees and wheeze. It's been a long time since I've needed to run so fast. Instincts gives way to reason, and I'm finally able to piece together everything that has happened. You're so stupid, Joseph. There's nothing hunting you. You live in the middle of the forest for several years now, and nothing the least bit strange has ever happened. It's the stress and the little rest you had these last few months. It's all the same in your fucking shitty life. The only thing that changed is the fact that the fucking girl showed up in the middle of the night, and that's it. That's all. And when I get back to the cabin, What the fuck is this? At first, I don't quite understand what I'm looking at. My first impression is that I'm looking at a strange mound of earth, then a ditch, until my mind goes to something as ridiculous as a trench. It's a simple hole, but abnormally large, and for some strange reason, it manages to give me a feeling of insecurity and uncertainty. It wasn't here a few days ago, as I distinctly remember walking through this area last week. It is easily big enough for someone to crawl inside. I approach carefully, recognize the smell of wet earth. It's been dug recently, or maybe it's just wet from the recent rainfall. At first glance, it seems incredibly deep. The bottom can't be seen. The darkness that looms from it makes me uneasy, as if it's a portal to another world. As I lean forward,
forward further and feel a little dizzy. It suddenly seems like the air around me might push me in though the wind is completely still. I open my eyes wider to see if I can make out anything in the thick blackness, but it's no use. Its depth is disturbing and hypnotizing. I lose myself for a few seconds in its silence. But suddenly I have a sensation of being watched again, only this time it feels different. It's not like the feeling of being stalked, but as if a totally different presence has turned to look at me. To my misfortune, the sensation is coming directly from deep inside that hole. It's as if someone hidden in the blackness has opened their eyes and is watching me, as if they had noticed my presence. In spite of that sensation, I approached the omen even closer, taking the same precaution that one takes when leaning out from a cliff or a considerably high place. I can feel the vertigo on the surface of my skin. I look both ways as if I'm about to cross the street, just to make sure I'm completely alone when I crouch slowly, feeling the ground around me without taking my eyes off the hole. My fingers come across the small stone. With some primitive movements, I toss it with latent curiosity. Unfortunately, the sound of the stone crashing over and over again against the walls of the spontaneous pit rings out until it becomes fainter, but I never hear it hit the floor. My eyes shift slowly in every direction as I focus all my attention on hearing. I need to know that pit isn't bottomless. A silly thought enters my head, likely born from the desire of rationalize this random anomaly. I tell myself that maybe it's become a kind of natural well that has caved into the tunneling system beneath, but the more I think about it, the more senseless it seems. The earth is not turned inward, but sprouted, as if someone has dug it from inside out. It made the hair on my arms bristle. I throw a branch with an almost childish fling, to see if a little more added force might cause it to hit the bottom and crash into the water or the land or whatever it is down there, anything to give me some peace of mind. Steadily, the hole makes me increasingly nervous as I look for a bigger rock, something that will require both hands to lift. My psyche needs to hear that hole as a bottom so I can put my impending craziness to rest. I stand up and straighten my back, determined to achieve my goal. With a little effort, I lift a rock above my head, put as much force into it, and hit myself. Ah! I fell backwards into the littering of leaves and brush, and the rock falls with me, nearly crushing my hand. I was joking. I quickly crawled backwards, dragging my hands behind me like a crab, just to get away from the damn hole in the ground. Something tells me that at any moment, whatever is dwelling inside will come out and drag me into its depths. I hurriedly prop myself up on my elbows, twisting and moving like a damn fool, crawling on the ground and expecting the worst. I feel my heart pounding loudly in my throat. I can't tell exactly how long I've been laying here, staring into the nothingness. But in my head, it feels like hours. Dizziness washes over me once more. I feel like I'm in a dream again, but the heartbeat hammering in my chest makes me realize that I'm obviously not dreaming. My arms begin to tingle from the holding it's outstretched. I realize I've automatically drawn my knife and have been pointing it forward. I take a deep breath, trying to hold back a scream, and with all my strength I drive into the ground, barely repressing the urge to plunge it into my leg to erase the sickening feeling of vulnerability that is once again poisoning me. I rub my face in anger and shame, feeling like my life is simply one pathetic play that I'm being forced to act in. Little by little, my senses return, but the feeling of uncertainty remains. Uncertainty of what? From what, damn it? I cackle out in a rageful laugh. It's true what they say. You don't laugh, you cry. If you don't laugh, you cry. Who or what could be inside the fucking hole? A badger? A rodent? Perhaps that's it. Maybe a guinea pig? I pick myself up off the ground, feeling embarrassed,
Like I'd lost a silly high school brawl. I took a moment to wipe my hands against my pants, sheath my sword, fuck it, and then shove it all in the back of my mind and make my way back. It's just a stupid hole made by some shitty animal. Nothing else. And that's where we're gonna leave it. So we'll find out more next time. Don't forget to check out my other channel, Sinfully Pure, which at this moment is the only one monetized. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.